say so.
But are you forgetting that I've known Heather for years? That we have our own history. And there's not even a class show with Ashley. So your thesis is listening to
You can tell yourself whatever you
Well,
want.
hello, beautiful people.
Hey, did you see that
I
stuff?
am working tonight,
Guess what?
and I plan to go live, of course.
Here, casual discussion with me, so that gets
Welcome to Rhonda's Lovely Sparks.
Like healthy for someone.
Welcome to Rhonda's Lovely Sparks.
I thought
Um,
and that's what
I am here working
they
tonight.
tell each other the truth.
Of course, I work every night.
Are you sure that's
Okay. Hypothetically speaking,
Volume's down.
would it matter to you if I told you that was?
I'm watching Young and the
I just made
Restless.
my point. Can we go now?
Listen, we're not in any place to be handing out or taking favors from each other. Okay?
Just hear me out, at least. Give me that much, can't you?
Sure.
So I'm still on Dom's music
I'm
class.
catching up on Young and the Restless.
I heard about a performance. I would very much like to attend it.
While I'm working tonight.
Sorry.
So welcome to
May I
Rhonda's
ask why?
Late Night ASMR.
It'd be about ballet.
Watch me
How about you?
work
I'll force your way
with
in.
my kitty
Sing.
cat right there.
See,
She's right here.
I just wanted to attend the performance.
Well, what about after the show? Like when the parents want to get together, take the kids out, get ice cream and stuff. They're gonna guilt us into including you? Or you just gonna show up and clap and support?
Can y'all
Nothing's
see
changed
me?
since the last time I asked you to keep your
I
distance.
think I need to scooch up. Scooch up a little bit and fix this.
Before you go, Abby, I wanted to ask you, is your mother doing any better?
Okay, now you can see me better.
Ashley,
Welcome to Rhonda's Lovely Sparks Live. I'm working tonight. And I said, well, let me just sit here and work while you watch me work. Hey, Eric. How are you doing, Eric? Here she is right here. Here she is. Come here, honey. Hi, come here, super. Come here. Eric is saying hello. Shout out to Eric Wallace. Hello, my beautiful friend. It's always good to see you. Come here, sweetie.
Hi, where were we?
Yes. Did you want to
Sure.
turn
I
around?
think you were just saying that you had a
Did you want to turn around?
and you wanted to see didn't you?
Yes.
Okay. Great. Well, I would love to see you. I mean, if the invitation is still open.
I wonder if she's going to stay since I've turned her around.
Should I come to you, or
No.
That's Mothra.
Okay.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, me too. I'll see you soon.
Hello, baby. Yes, say hello.
Oh, yeah.
Look over here. Say hello.
So,
Say hello, Mothra. Welcome and thank you for being here.
you let me out.
Thank you for being here. I am working tonight. And I said, well, let me cut this on live while y'all watch me work. How have you been doing today? Did you have a good day today?
Belongs to me. Belongs to us.
Got my water over here.
Once we're still in the fight.
Got to see the niece and nephew yesterday. Isn't that wonderful? Doesn't that make us feel like we are living a full life, doesn't it? It's something about that younger generation. They have such a pure heart and pure eyes. I'm so happy you got to see them and their dogs. And their dogs. So happy about that. From the bottom of my heart. I am so happy to hear that. That's exciting. Isn't it exciting to have someone, a part of your life, got some cold water, a part of your life that you can talk and share with others? I do it all the time when I see my grandson, see my grandchildren. I know how fortunate it feels to have people in your life and to be able to share, that someone is out there that loves you. And we can always learn something great from them, can we? Always. She turned back around. Did you see her? She is. She turned back around. She's like, leave me alone. I was trying to shine my light on her. Maybe I could do something here where I could shine the lights. I'm still working on my lighting and getting my lighting better. So, my background lighting, my flowers, my pillows, just some things. Just so happy to see you, my love. So happy to see you, Eric. I really am. And it's so good to hear that you saw your niece and your nephew and their dogs. That's cool. Pets are, I've always loved animals. I grew up on a farm. I've always loved animals. I'm trying to fix some things here. I grew up around animals. And as I get older, I mean, always loved them. But as I get older, you seem to have so much more value than ever. Hey, hello, Coyote. I know. It's like, what am I doing? What is your girl up to? Well, good to see you. Shout out to Coyote. Shout out to Eric Wallace. I am working on, here's my, ah, and I'm working on scheduling Betty Boop for Saturday. I always work on request, that you all put out there, and I alternate. I have like a Rock'em Sock'em Robot last week, so I alternate like a cartoon, something vintage, nostalgia, and then I'll come up with some animated, something classic. So I make sure it stays fresh, that it's on like rotation, like rotation, keep people, looking and I'm trying to. I kind of haven't been scheduling anything really. I've been doing some tweaking for members. I think I sent some things today talking about uh, Bebe Kids. The Django is Unchained is going to be scheduled for Tuesday, for our Tuesday night movie. And then before that, I have cartoons on Tuesdays, right? I have cartoons, like back in the day. I have a cartoon short, right? A cartoon short at the beginning of the movie, and then I have a movie. So the cartoon short that comes with the movie this Tuesday will be Bebe's Kids. And to members, I send like Bebe's Kids, like the year it was released, and a little short story of what the plot of the cartoon is. And I do that because I keep the Bugs Bunny and Tweety show. Yes. Yes. Let me see if I have that on here as far as a short. And my book here. And I have shorts. I want to make sure. I have like cartoons, and I want to make sure every time I get a reminder from you all or a suggestion, I make sure that, let's see, that it's there. And then I put a star on top, and I put your initials by it, So I am very attentive. And then always ask people to continue to always, so here's my section for cartoons. And I have my little pen, and let me make sure. I love you, baby. La, 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 la. Trying to fix the light so you all can see Mothra. You can see. You'll see Martha a little bit better. I have to play with lights. I don't know if you can tell my lighting in the back. I've kind of been working on some things. You all can see this is my husband's side. Over there is it's pipe shelving. It's over there. That's my stuff. And over here is my husband's stuff. So he has autographed Duran, is it Roberto Duran boxing gloves and speed racer and collection of cars and tour buses and his giant stuff. So, and then I got some flowers and some pillows, kind of dress it up because believe it or not, do you know that people are up with me all night just watching me work with the kitty cat? Isn't that the coolest thing? Okay, so this right here I have cartoon nostalgia. And I thought I had a section where there are shorts. Rocky, oh yes, I gotta write that down. I got my little list here. Okay, here it is. I think this is I have a separate list here. So this here, I put a star beside it. So let me write down the Bugs Bunny and Tweety show. Checking that. So I want to erase this so you all can see me right. Trying to just figure out things. Y'all see me, you catch me in deep thought. I just love you all are here. Hopefully I can add something to your life where you can feel like, you're resting, you're relaxing, you're chatting, you're like checking out something different, that you really want to see. I was thinking about getting up. I say, no, I don't want to get up, but I want to have something where I have this raised. You all can see me actually right. I think that's, yeah, I'm going to take my time and do that. It's like, go ahead and do it now and then get used to it. So I'll be right back. I'm going to get my my little platform I put right here so I can sit that high. Because what I'm trying to do is like while I'm up all night, I'm going to write all those down too. So I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'm right here. I'm using this thing that I use for my my book reading. Okay. And I have an interesting setup here. But I don't want to like trip and fall. We can't have that. Me falling. Good Lord. I just take my time as I walk around. Got my cold water. And I got this tray thing my husband had for 100 years. And I really like it. I finally found a setup, Eric and Coyote, where my battery doesn't run down. So I like this setup for ASMR, work all night. I have my book reading corner over there. And then over here, I have my live setup where I'm going to set up live tonight. Not live tonight, but to watch the basketball game. I'm going to set that up on here. For Wednesday, playoffs. Of course, you all have to watch it on. Okay, does that, can y'all see? It's still not high enough. I'm trying to figure some things out, and I will figure this out. I will figure this out. I'm trying to figure out so you can watch me, or when I set it up, I could have it set up where you could watch me write things down. It makes a really cool setup. It's like when you're going live, then you could figure out, things you need to cat hair. And that's what makes it work. You know, Coyote, you know me also when you've been up with me at night also where, you know, things would just not work. And and then I had to tweak. I wonder if this is going to work. Or am I going to need a box? I have to figure out as I go, and it gets better and better. And I have to set things up according to while I'm live. You know, it's like because the camera's on. And I want to get an older music sheet holder for violins. And oh, you play that, Coyote? I am so amazed of the musical knowledge and gifts you all have. I know that Jojo Gonzalez, she writes poetry and she also plays an instrument. Also, Sugar Daddy plays an instrument. I just love the musically inclined people here. It's so beautiful. And you said have one for the lap you can fold out. I want to get an older music sheet holder for violins and vowels, right? Have one for the lap you can fold out. I like that. You know, it's like the more you work with things, the more you can tweak. It looks like it's kind of getting there. If people could see me right while I'm working, right? It's not anything confidential where someone can zoom in and get your social security number. You know, there's things you got to be conscious about. Piano, viola, but I only did it when I was 6 and 10. Well, I'll be happy to see you do it again. My daughter plays is it viola? Viola. My daughter plays that. My youngest daughter and my oldest daughter plays the violin. And that doesn't that sound sweet? It's like you feel like, oh, I've done something pretty cool, you know, in my life that I could chat about something that you've invested some intellectual time. Yes. Coyote says, yes, it's versatile. Versatile, the viola. Both of them, you're just very musically inclined. I'm just so happy as a mom that I was able to give them something, you know, that they would love to do and to be able to talk about when they got older and share, share with somebody some I call it intellectual. I think it's intellectual because I think it's definitely a gift, you know, that you have when you learn how to play these things. I never learned it. I wish I could. I wish I could. I just parents didn't give me, put me in that position. I did a lot of things when I was a child. I was in my day. I was a part of the Boy Scout. I mean, the Girl Scouts. Well, it's not Girl Scouts. It's the Brownies, the Bluebirds. You know, there are stages, and it was really fun. I was back then in a private school. My parents were both working in Kansas City at Western. I'm trying to see how I can turn this. Y'all can see it and see me. I was trying to make it a nice setting. Trying to see how that looks. Especially when I bring it closer. Today I went to the Texas Department of Public Safety, had my driver's license updated. Because the first time when I did, okay, I think that's fine. The first time when I did, that I did it online and I didn't need to go in person. And they're saying, well, oops, let's get some water. Oh, that was cold. Ooh, that was cold. First time I did it online, and the second time which is now I had to come in person with a certified birth certificate. Okay, I think that's cool. I think it's getting there. It's getting there. Can even play it with your fingers, kind of like a guitar, but hold it with your chin. I learned a lot from a master piano teacher and some orchestras and classical guitar players. I'm a strong math and music guy. Wow, that's amazing. They go hand in hand, exactly. My daughter had strengths in science and maths. I'm impressed. I'm totally impressed. It's so cool. What I'm learning as I um, do this YouTube channel is that the people that I've known in chat for a long time in another setting, um, that there is such a deeper story to you. And that's what makes it for me so intriguing and exciting is to know your story. It's why I love doing movies so much because I'm getting more value out of my life by watching movies and also extending it to learn a lot about the plots, the music of the movies, the soundtracks, the history of the actors and the actresses. There's a story, and it's like there is a story, behind why you do what you're doing today, how you survived. I always like the story because it makes me even feel valued. I'm living my life. See how this is going. That I'm living my life where I'm getting some value. Rhonda, everyone has deep stories. Some experience it, and some doesn't know how to describe it from memory. Yeah, one thing I have to share with you too. Another thing I've shared with you is that another another reason why another another reason why I think I got it. Another reason why I've been doing movies because I know, like I said, 4 years ago when I was going through a lot of stress and stuff. Thank God I didn't have a stroke. Thank God, and that I felt too. I was losing some memory, because stress can cause a lot of things. So what inspired me to do the movies and stuff was working on getting my mind, because for 30 some years I've worked for admin in some capacity, right? Which is a lot of pressure. And then when I started doing movies and started programming, you see all these things in writing, it stimulates my memory. It helps me with cognitive thinking. It brings nutrients back into my brain. And it's a lot of writing, but it's my therapy. It's something I'm feeling value when I'm up at night. And it just makes me feel like I'm living a much more fuller life. Hey, April, a brilliant, blessed miss. Oh, she does the shout out. Hello, April. Welcome. Welcome. What up? He goes, Calio, he says, what up, April? Thank you for joining me tonight. I was looking at the list that Calio and I'm doing my setting where people can see me work, where people can see the cat. And I think my light, trying to fix everything so you all can see the lighting, okay? And that's just something that once I get used to it, then I finally got a nice setup I could be happy with. So I'm down here, my head is down here, and I'm like plugging things in and just trying to get my work area where I can work and chat with you all. So this is my calendar. And I could put right here. Okay. And I'm going to fix the lighting where you all can see Kitty Cat. I think y'all can see her now. Because that is tired, but mine is going. I have it set up where the lighting can show my cat because on my thumbnail, and how I promote my ASMR is that Martha's always with me. She loves staying up with me at night. So Martha's right here. I hope the light is not going to annoy her and then she moves, but so far she seems to be okay. So far she seems to be okay. I'm just watching her. Got the cam kind of turned this way. You can. Oh no, I'm trying to see how this is set up. I have to go to. And then I got to get back writing Coyote's recommendations. But I watch myself on here to see how this on my TV, and I sign in my YouTube on TV, and to see what it looks like on TV. So I'm constantly tweaking and working with things. And while I have my water, did y'all take a water break? Oh, I love that water. It's good and cold. Let's see. Coyote says, cats can see extra light when we can feel it. Yes. And then April says, I understand that. I'm at work. Just started at 8 and I'm already exhausted. It's going to be a long, long night. Yes. Hopefully, if you're hanging out here, maybe we can make your time won't feel so grueling, you know? I like that one. Coyote also said that they can feel the light in us, Okay, I'm pulling this up to see how I look and make sure that everything is graveyard fun. I know, graveyard ship. It's like it has to be just a relief, like when the morning comes in. And okay, there it is. So I'm looking at my setup. It looks pretty good because I did want to see that y'all see me do my workflow. And there's the cat. It looks like she kind of likes it. She hasn't jumped up and moved. There's a lot of this that's on there, but I guess it's okay. So that's what I call it tonight. I called it ASMR, watch me work with cat in background and chat with y'all. Okay, I think it looks pretty good. And it's set up as best as I could get it. And then I'm going to put it back on Young. I saw Bold and the Beautiful. And now I'm watching Young and the Restless. I'm kind of behind like 5 days. That's one of my guilty pleasures. You know what I'm saying? Since I've been retired, I just sit here at night. I create, I write. And sorry, y'all, I have cat hair. I'm not trying to like ding my nose while y'all are watching. I'm so sorry. Sometimes when you're live, you just have to be as discreet as you can while you continue living because you're live. April says, Coyote, I just subbed up to you. When you start doing content, I get to enjoy it. Yes. Yes, I was looking at too, Jiffy Jeff. Do you guys feel like there is a time of day where your mind is wide open? Oh, yeah. Ooh. It's like now. But since I've been doing movies, and when I say doing movies, I'm like learning some new things, opening my mind. My mind. It's like I sleep and get my rest, right? And then I have more dreams. And there are times when I wake up and I go, oh my God, thank God that was a dream. And I go, oh, I'm so glad I'm living this life where I am right now. Thank God that was a dream. So my mind is just so open. And what I've learned too, now that I'm retired, because before having two jobs, which seemed like three, it's basically like three jobs. Um, After I retire, then I said, I'm not going to bring a pen and pad, paper, put it by my bed. But I heard people do that. They have a journal by their bed and they wake up in the night and they write down their dreams, right? Because it has a science to the method. So math, science to the method. So I think that's quite interesting. But all the time, April says yes. For me, it's beautiful. Like 5 to 7. Ironically, of course, because of my work schedule. Yeah, I think, like for me too, I also had that open minded type aha moments, even when I was working, So I guess you're feeding a healthy mind. I guess you can reassure yourself and go, wow, um, I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay. Like, hmm, I'm writing down while y'all are chatting. I'm writing down while I set this here so you all can see me right. I'm a left handed woman. Um, I'm trying to see if I can see what you wrote down. I have to scroll up. Okay, I could use my cell phone. I could scroll up and then Coyote said, so when you sleep, your brain doesn't reduce its energy. Yes, it does. And then it does have some downtime because I try to nurture it. But then it seems to pick up about 6 in the morning, maybe 6 a.m. to 12 noon, something around that. It will come up with some dreams. Probably not dreams that are something I really would like to dream about. It's always me, and the family and me always doing what I've always done. My dreams are true. I've always led my family in some way and I was the leader. And okay, I see your cartoons here. Wow, interesting, Coyote. Lefty, I can lock up in basketball. I don't know about that. Left-handed boy, we can fool you, right? Especially when you play baseball. I got a badass left hand. Around the house, if I toss something or throw something, I'm always like 100% accurate. And my husband looks like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whoa. Like I'll throw something and it will land exactly in its place, wherever it could be. It's like very it's like some kind of gift going on because I always had I played really good tennis. Well, I have badass left hand volleyball. My youngest son is a lefty. Oh yeah, those lefties are so cool. Those lefties are so cool. You said Bugs Bunny and Tweety Show. Y'all can continue talking. I'm just writing. Trying to see if y'all can see me write some things. I was trying to set it up high so you all can see it, and still you all can't see. I'm just trying to do my setup better. See this, I'm trying to get to where this is sitting up like that. That means I need some more height. Let's see. I'm trying to get some stabilized height so nothing will crash and burn. I'll do that. Because I have to later on kind of work on that. I played baseball, football, baseball, softball, volleyball, and track. Yeah, that's awesome. You're very athletic too. You're 6'5"? Oh my God. That's great. You're way up there. I'm trying to figure out, I think I have an idea, and I'll have to get up again, and I don't want to get up. But if I don't do that, then I'm not going to be happy. I'll just have to figure it out later. Okay, I'm just writing down right now. Until I can set it up better tomorrow. I gotta get my quota, my water in. Now I share with you, I'll do it every day, and I gotta get in because I'm asleep. Bugs Bunny and Tweety Show.
Okay.
And actually, when I was someone else getting dramatic,
New lefties. No, lefties are tricky. They are harder. And ping pong and tennis. While I'm writing, just you all, just continue chatting. Don't let me stop you because I like this when we're engaging and talking. So I encourage it. You're not interrupting me. Chat with me because I will be looking up to see what you wrote. And I have like right here, see right here, something where I could see when you chat. It's like while I'm looking, I could see it and respond. Okay. Okay. We are having a beautiful night together. Okay. We are having. Okay. Then you said Ninja Turtles, 1980s. Okay. Ninja. So my mother taught me when I was a little girl, even though I was left-handed, she taught me right-handed ways. So it will work in my benefit, right? So even though I'm left-handed, I don't write upside down. She always helped me arrange things. Like if you see me here writing, it's like I'm writing straight. She always made sure that my arm was straight, my hand was straight. And from a little girl, it's how she taught me. What is your ideas of time? The way it is, or the way it is in your perspective. What is your ideas of time? The way it is, or the way it is in your perspective. Ideas of time. So, are you speaking about like intricately, like about the clock, or time of days, or how things are organized? During the day, like how we use our time, or how time is set to adapt and adjust our lives. Give me a little bit more. What is your ideas of time? I like your mind. You have a beautiful mind.
should be welcome to the portfolio. So, yes.
For me, if I can go with what you wrote, what is your ideas of time? The way your interpretation of time. What do you think it is? Um, so this off the bat, time
That's great.
for me, if I start with breaking it down, time for me is like break it down, um, like a measurement, right? It's a measurement. So
You know what I mean?
just breaking down interpretation,
We go to places.
me not knowing any other way, and the way I have been indoctrinated to understand it, to me, it definitely helps, keeps the order of things. I feel that. Now, my how I handle time now, can time feel off, or can it speed or slow down, or can you see it in your mind? Okay. Can time feel off?
I am very
Yeah, I do feel
this trip.
definitely it feels off. Definitely, I feel that there are things that seem unexplainable. You know, it's like, because what happens if something happens and then always my go-to is the clock and I go, oh, I thought it was such and such date, you know, or oh, it's later than I thought, or oh, it's earlier than I thought. I really feel sometimes if I think it's just floating, you know, we're just floaters, you know, just, and I think there's definitely something so much bigger than us, than man measuring it. I think there's, you know, okay, so you wrote, have you heard of the 12-month calendar and New Year starts in spring like April? I haven't heard of that. A new beginning, 13-month calendar. I haven't heard of that. Enlighten me. The 12-month calendar and New Year starts in spring and April. 13 times 8 equal S. Hmm, that's intricate. So tell me a little bit more. If are you saying that you think that's a system that works better or should be applied? Or you think that is the true way that we should always be living? I'm curious. You gotta break that down. Sorry, it's 13 times 28 days. Okay. So 13 is hours, right? So you're saying instead of 12 hours in a day, are you going by like 13 hours in a day times 28 days, which is the month? And you go in 13 times 28 equals 364 days. You think life is, let me ask you a question. Do you think man made time to cheat us out of our pay, to manipulate the economy? I think time has been made to kind of profit for people to those, yeah, absolutely, and deeper. You know what I'm saying? Because I know my whole life working in admin, always had to work with something dealing with math or accounting, right? Collections or hours when it comes to employees' hours and overtime and a half. And I really feel that people are being cheated out of their pay. You know, when they manipulate it when it comes to how many hours people work, holiday pay. Um, I've noticed that it just seems like a couple of cents off that they feel they can get away with. And then when you calculate those pennies, you know, those copper pennies, that you find out that something is not at an exact number. You know, it's not coming out. So Brilliant Blessed Miss says, Coyote, oh my God, you're 6'5". Oh my God, I want to stand beside you so I can feel short. I know, what a beautiful height. What a beautiful height. Hey bro, I love his mind too, because, you know, he always talk about strengths of math and science, and he plays these musical instruments and, you know, these intricacies, you know, because I'm that, you know, I think how we all get along too is that because we think, you know, we think alike, how we put things together when it comes to talking and describing things. Coyote says numbers are fudged like what you're taught, history and science and math. Right. It just it just seems like to me when it comes to algebra, when it comes to the other physics, I struggled a lot when it came to that because my brain is made where if you notice, I have to put things out. I have to have calendars. I have to have things in front of me. I work out like when I'm thinking in my head, it's like an organizational chart. It has its place and it's itemized and it's categorized, right? So it has to make sense to me. And never did physics and algebra was cut and dry when it came to like 2 plus 2 equal 4. That made sense. But the formulas never. It just didn't like really made enough sense for me to feel like I needed to make a living from this. You know what I'm saying? It's like I couldn't wait to get out of school and say, forget that. I don't want to ever deal with that ever again in my life. I said, and never have had the need to use it. You know, um, Cal, yes, it can really be a matrix if you believe what you're taught versus what you feel. April says, be right back, Ron. I got something. Okay. April said she'll be right back. Sorry, April. Are you really short? She says she'll be right back. April, she tells everybody she works with planes. Is that not awesome? She works with planes. Has some cool friends. Hello, everybody. I see you all sitting in the cut. Welcome to Rhonda's Lovely Sparks. This is a different format of my live. I have several kind of different lives. I have a daytime live and I have a nighttime live while I'm working and I'm doing my creative juices things. And when I do that and it's like an ASMR. My cat's right here. It's Mothra. Mothra is named after on the movie or whatever on Godzilla, the moth, that fights Godzilla. And Mothra has such a deep meaning because Mothra means like this high spiritual representation of peace and love and unity, beautiful energy. And that's definitely Mothra. She was a feral cat and she found me. I would always go to the patio, water my flowers and work on my patio and my plants and stuff, and she was there every day. So what happened during the wintertime, I ended up making a tent for her on the patio because I wasn't sure if she really wanted to be inside, and I bought her a plug-in warmer, did a plug-in warmer that plugged it outside on the patio and did a tent where she could stay warm, fed her and gave her water. So she ended up during the spring, ended up getting pregnant. And I saw her lactating, and I was like, oh no, that means she's had babies and that means she's lost them. That bothered me. So I said, I let her still run free. And I thought, she came back pregnant. And I thought, she keeps coming back here. So, of course, we made her a house cat, and she really is living high off the hog, as they say, in Mississippi and Texas in the South. She's living high off the hog. So we took her in and we helped her have her babies, and we took care of her babies. And she had 7 babies, and we rehomed 2 and 3. We kept 3. Or she had 6 babies. So we rehomed 3 and we kept 3 here, who was Chocolate Chip, Twilight, and Nippy. But we just couldn't get rid of them, like give them away. We fell in love with them. And my heart was aching so bad because I was missing the other three that we had rehomed. And my husband has been really working with me with that guilt, like don't feel guilty. Trust me, they're happy, you know? So I'm like, okay, we did good. We kept Mothra. We had her, spaded. I don't know if it was neutered or spaded. And then we had her shots, vaccines. We had her nails trimmed. We had all those things. We had her flea treatment. And she didn't have fleas. She didn't have fleas, but we still had the flea treatment. And every year, she gets that taken care of, the vaccines and everything. And I'm behind on the vaccines. Of course, she needs to go again. So with the money that I'm making, as far as what's paid through memberships, I take that money. No, I don't declaw her. That's like taking her life away. I just had her nails trimmed, but that's her life. I don't never believe in doing that. I've seen people that do it. She might need defense. Exactly, she does, and that's like just to me, deformity. When you pull out their lifeline, I just never, 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 never do it. And she's over there cleaning. This sweet kitty. Hi, honey. Are you cleaning? And she stays with me. There she is. You can see her really good. She stays with me. Um, yes. And so what I do when people join as a member, just I always like to tell people like what I do, right? A little bit on a deeper scale. That I use that money, which I haven't gotten paid through YouTube yet, but I received a notice because I've had been monetized since January, and I'll be getting my first check, which is in about 2 or 3 weeks, which will be $221 since January, right? So that'll be the first money, and that 221 that I get, it will go toward me taking her to get her vaccines. We have 5 cats, so we give them their vaccines every year, and we have one more cat that needs to be neutered, a female cat, because she suffers, when she's not neutered. So we have 5 cats. We had them neutered and vaccine. We have one more. So we believe in getting cats, and they're her babies. And we rescued one cat, and we believe in making sure that they remain healthy. So, and we also invest in our wild birds. So we have wild bird feeders outside in a bird bath. And so we invest in feeding because guess what? Man has really contributed into really messing up society and really, messing up the ecosystem, right? And so we contribute by providing bird seed. My husband goes to Tractor Supply and buys these big bags of feed, and it just makes us, I was sharing with you about feeling a life worth. And my membership starts off at 99 cents. And there's a 290, a 390, a 299 or 399, and then a 599 for the bomb. So Kalyoli said, if she stays in her area, you don't have to whack. You don't have to vax unless she roams. Yeah, she stays. She stays in the home. And what we've done, we've catified our house. And catified means I know how to jute rope, so I've made some toys, some baskets, some things that could climb on, some little cubby holes that can go in. I made because they're living in our house, and so we have areas for each cat if they choose to separate themselves and want private time, or if they choose to play, then they could tune into their feral, they could tune into their primal cat. You know what I'm saying? They could tune into that and feel like they're living a full life. Because honestly, me being from the country, I had no cats in the house. I lived in the country, 50 acres of land. My dad still has the land, and cats were always outside. And we catified. We didn't have to really catify things outside, but for the winter and stuff, we made places for them to, be warm and stuff like that, right? And so, since I've been in the city, I had to learn city ways. So in the home, I've been reading and doing research, and made some climbing things that they could climb without messing up my walls, and have a pellet system, a pellet litter system. I don't use cat litter. I use pine pellets where you could just shake, and it filters, and it's eco-friendly. It's safe. It's good for the air, and it's good for them. So if they lick their paws or use it. It doesn't hurt the cats, and it doesn't, mess up the air for all of us. It's healthier. So yeah, but we've been doing some really great homework on something like I was saying about living your full life when you find something. And it has really helped me because my whole life I've been groomed to take care of others. I've been groomed to help others. I've been groomed to think for others or help others become millionaires. You know what I'm saying? I've been groomed for that. And uh, when I was retired and my husband started living a life for us, I was going through anxiety. I was decompressing. I was de-stressing. I was learning. It took me a while to learn, what do I like? My husband asked me, Rhonda, what do you want in life? What are your wishes? And I couldn't answer him for like 6 months. And then after even a year passed, I started tapping into making terracotta inspired vases. I have some beautiful vases. I don't know if you can see that one. I make flower arrangements, so it's a pretty glass vase that I hand painted. And every once in a while in the background, you'll see some flower arrangements that I made and some terracotta. I have a Native American vase that I made. And in the Native American vase, it has messages, like where it starts with green, which means money, it has artwork, and it says happiness, which red means love, and it says yellow means stress free, and blue means peace. And it has all these signals. So one day I'll put it on there so you all can see what I have been doing, but I do do, and I started learning that when I became retired. I start finding my way, like sleeping a lot because I know I was depressed, right? I just did a lot of sleeping. It's like I could never get enough rest. I was sleeping, and my husband just let me be free and just sleep where I wasn't didn't feel I felt so guilty for so long because I've been so controlled by what you were talking about, time. I had a cat that I found in the ditch, a quarter my hand size, and took it in, and it became an alpha. It attacked any animal around my house. It scared the shit out of the dogs. Good, because they can read other animals' language and they have to protect themselves. You know what I'm saying? Where we humans might miss it, cats know before we know. You know what I mean? They just know. So I started creating an environment of love, peace, tranquility, and my husband just let me create. Like that picture, I don't know if you can see if I can point to it. Up and this way. Picture right there. Up and this way. There. That picture right there. It's a picture that where my husband grew up as a little boy in Paterson, New Jersey. And I ended up finding that. I went on, I had his address where he grew up, and I found it on Google Maps, and I printed the picture and I had it framed. And it's this picture where he grew up, and I gave that to him for Christmas. He was so shocked. It's like I really put thought into it. You know, what touches his heart. Like, since he's from Paterson, New Jersey, I try to pull what he grew up around and his love for Paterson and bring it to Texas in his life here, where we can share that together. So that's also helped with his process and healing and finding love here, loving his new home, his new place, loving Texas, and things like that. So I tap into that. Um, and then over there, my son-in-law got me this here. Right there, it's a sign that says family is everything. And so we have a story, all this. And right here, see that picture on the wall? It's a picture of Nippy watching the New York Giants and Cowboys. And it's the silhouette of she's like sitting here, and I took a picture, her watching TV, and I enlarged it. And then it was Giants and someone playing on there. And It's Nippy's head. It's really cute because my husband loves cats like you do. It's and then so it's things I've made around the house. Like right here is industrial lighting. So right there you see my finger. So what I've done, the bones of my house, the designer bones. Yes, the designer bones is industrial. Because I grew up around, my dad worked for, back in the day, Alcoa Aluminum Company of America, right? And I end up always hearing about, nails and cable making and stuff. So something about industry I love, because I know industry is like the foundation of how we built our country's commerce, right? Railroads and planes, trains, automobiles. So if you see that's pipe, the shelves are pipe shelves. So I put some studies into it. And I have over there, I have mounted to the wall. I had someone professional to mount this. Over there is where my pots and pans, they hang from the ceiling, and it's pipe. And then my mirror over there where I do my book reading is piped around it with this gigantic mirror. And then pipe shelves. And just like you were seeing that light with the covering, over there, it's industrial light coming out the wall. It needs dusting. It's very dusty. Sorry about that. I'll dust it tomorrow, whatever. And so that's the bones, right? And then there's bright colors because my husband introduced me to bright colors. I grew up around brown panel. Remember those days? And with the brown panel, my husband and I, when we met, my husband introduced me to color because my mother was always like neutrals, right? Browns, beiges, creams. So in my house, it was like back in the day, it was taboo in my day, taboo to decorate with red. So I learned to do some pop of red, like a pop of red silks, right? A pop of a red vase that I made terracotta inspired red vase, a pop of color, a pop of red, a pop of yellow, a pop of blue and greens and purples, right? And so it's very magical. I'm going to be on YouTube as long as God is blessing me, and I'll have a lot of material to share with y'all. Like I tell people about this picture here. That picture is an African painting. It's an African basket with African floral arrangement. And a lot of people feel that African design and decor is always lions and tigers and elephants and leopard and cheetah print, but it's not. African colors is bright, brilliant colors. So when you come into my house, this here is the focal point. It's like color. It's really pretty. It's an African painting. So yeah, I put some thought into it. If you notice here, I like color. I love color. My husband introduced me to happy, bright colors, and that's helped me restore and heal and talk, and be confident when I go live. Mike Aldana's there too. Good evening, sweetheart. Yay! Look at that dancing. We're gonna get nasty. Hubby is asleep. It's time to party. Remember that back in the day when everybody was doing this when you would dance? Remember that? I'm a 60s baby. Y'all got me acting wild in the middle of the night like this. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning here in Texas. We are 1 hour, and I'm going to be up all night long. All night long. All night. So Calio says, I painted my grandma's cosmetic area bright yellow, green, and turned it to a deep red. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love those colors. You have such an eye. Mike Aldana says, you remind me of Wanda Sykes when you react like that. Serious? Me? That's a compliment because she's a beautiful woman and she's really funny. Wow, what a compliment. All night long, all night, all night. Remember that? John Travolta? See what y'all do to me? 1 o'clock in the morning. And I am partying. And let's get nasty. Y'all got me laughing. Y'all got me laughing. I'm really happy too that I finally have a system where I can work all night with being here with y'all, you know, because sometimes I'll get people that will pop in and they say that, sorry, that's before my time. John Travolta before your time? Are you're that young whippersnapper? I think everybody's younger than me. Mike, would you say you're in your 40s, like 35, 38, 39, 40, something like that? Oh, young whippersnapper. You young people out there. Sorry, it's before my time. Whatever. Oh my God, Mike. Why I keep thinking you're like 50, 60 years old. You're so young, Mike. I always say that, don't I, Mike? Every time you tell me your age, I go, you're so young. Mike, oh, you're so young. Oh. And Kelly always says Grease was really before my time, but she played it a lot. Like, Kelly, do you want to share your age? I know y'all have before. Sometimes I just don't make it. Oh my God, y'all so young. Y'all so young. You tell me you never heard about Grace Come Home, y'all. Then he goes, Wanda Sykes. And Wanda younger than me? Y'all young whippersnappers. Yeah, let me tell you, I always tell you all this. I'll say it again um that is hilarious. I had some ladies that come in here, and it's Najalista and Daydream 2020. I think that's her name. Forgive me if it's wrong. Sorry. But she came in. She's like, I'm 20 years old, and I joined your page. I'm like, well, hey, 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 hey. Why, yeah. Come on, y'all dancing with me? Don't be shy. Get it up. Shake that butt. Yeah. Roll it down to the floor. Don't you hurt yourself. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's some old school moves, ain't it? Saturday night. Oh, young whippersnappers. Y'all over there hanging around an older woman. I'm 58. That's right. That's right. I love getting older. I love it. Thank God. Thank God. Saturday Night Fever. Amen. Oh, I'm writing down some recommendations, beautiful people. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get Saturday Night Live, but you know what? I'm going to write it down anyway because I'm going to try it. All night long, all night, all night, all night long, all night. What y'all know about that? Are y'all too young for that? Huh? Saturday, I'm writing it down right here. Saturday Night Fever. Avril said she'll be back also. She's a brilliant, blessed mess. And Avril works with planes. John Travolta, don't touch the hair. He got that finger like, and he does it way up in the air. But I don't want to raise my arms too high because when I'm dancing, like, it's time to put, you see my arms are down? I can't be showing them extra things. It's time to party. Are y'all laughing over there? Are y'all laughing at me? I was writing down 1-800-530-7665 old Leco construction commercial from Jerry Clower on Sundays when the old westerns played. Remember that? No, I don't, but I will look it up. What year was that? If my husband was here, he would go, "Oh yeah, I remember," because he remembers first and last names and everything in the world. I'm a Gemini. I'm like real creative. It's like I will like kick out what I really don't want to put there. You know what I'm saying? That I don't want to get stuck. So for creative reasons, my mind will kick it out. But hubby, he wants to remember streets and addresses and first and last names and of actors and actresses. And I do have. Guess what? Look at this. Dun, 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 dun. Commercials. Because that's what inspired me to put a commercial tab. When Sugar Daddy had recommended Rock'em Sock'em because he loved the Rock'em Sock'em commercials. So you said with that commercial, Mike, 1-800-530-7655 old Ledco construction commercial. Was that commercial like with excuse me. I was reading something on my computer screen. It said 12 seconds ads will run shortly for some viewers. That's the first time I've ever seen that. Ever. I'm like, it lets me know when ads are going to play. Ads inserted. Wow. Commercial from Jerry Lover on Sundays when old westerns. I heard jazz for a second. Really? Oh, it's interesting. I've never seen that. And I keep getting this thing. Okay, so I wrote that down. And trust me, when I write things down, I'm like this all the time. Even when people don't think I'm writing something down. Because sometimes when I do something, I like to surprise people who watch the movies and stuff. And they go, oh, like BV. She was like, Betty Poop. And you know what? Primetime Phil, he was like, what's her name? With the cute little hair all over the place. The cute little hair. And I did, sometimes my brain will kick things out, right? Starts with a P, not pumpernickel. Pippi something. Pippi Longstocking? Pippi Longstocking. And he comes in there and he goes, oh, I used to watch Pippi Longstocking all the time. Isn't that amazing? You know what I'm saying? I think that's amazing. You can tap into people. What Michael Dan says, do you remember seeing the Life cereal? Oh, yeah. And you know what? I had some Life cereal commercials and some cartoons I played. That's in the replay, the Life cereal. But what's amazing, when you all even mention it, then what I do, I think about it, I go, let me plug that in. But you remember Mike? I have one. If you go to the cartoons, you'll see on the playlist, You go to playlist, right? And there's a part that says cartoons nostalgia, and it's all the cartoons and nostalgia stuff. Okay, and and it'll be the ones that will say cartoons, and it'll say with commercials. There are some without commercials. I have more cartoons with commercials, and I believe I have a timeline. See right here? This is a timeline. I actually write it out. And right here it has life size Dave and Buster's. Oh, okay, this is a Rock and Sock'em. And I keep up with timelines. And then what I do, the timelines I post to members. It's only 99 cents a month. The timeline, and they get early access to when I'm going to play, and they get plots, and they get the plot of when I'm, the movie or the cartoon. And I was sharing with Coyote earlier that Tuesday we have Django Unchained. And on Tuesdays, it's different than Saturday because Tuesday is one movie. But at the beginning, like when you would go through I don't know if y'all ever been to a drive-in? Mike, Coyote, or April? So back in the day, since I'm older than you all, I think drive-in's been around when y'all were little, maybe. There's a few drive-ins still around, but some of them will have like cartoons, right? So Tuesdays, I have one movie, and then I'll have a cartoon before it. You know what I'm saying? I have a cartoon short, like what Coyote was saying earlier, Looney Tunes. Um, Coyote was saying, so that's what members will get too. Members will get early access, plots, early access to the schedule. They will get what's blocked, what I can't post, and they get nurtured. It's like 99 cents a month. And what I do, there are also a $2.99 and then a $5.99 for book readings, poetry, and singing, right? But sometimes for my sparklets, which is 99 cents, I'll post in there and give you all a share of what the higher paid members get. I do that sometimes. So because I think Lola, Sugar Daddy, Asia Robertson are Sparklet members. And because I know you all and you all are so close to me, then I'll give them a taste what Dynamite members will get, Some more details like pictures of my grandmother when she was a baby, and a picture with her sitting with her mother, which is my great grandmother, and her grandmother, which is my great great grandmother, standing up next to her. So y'all might see, wow, you all get a lot of me, a lot of work, from me with the free things that's there. But when you pay, it's like lots more. It's like lots more. So y'all go in there and spend 99 cents a month with your girl. So Mike out there says there's one in Midland, Texas, actual drive-in movie. Yeah, and there's one in Fort Worth, Texas. It's called Coyote. You ready to hear this? You ready? You can Google it. There's one in Fort Worth, Texas called Coyote Inn. Did I say girl? Oh, okay. So you're correcting yourself. Okay. I was like, yeah, I say all the time. Sometimes I'll say something that I don't mean. Okay. So yeah, you're trying to say Shirley Temple, girl with the curly hair. Yeah. So I can get her movies too, I think. I try. I go through a process and I try my best. But I tell a lot of people, say, yeah, y'all think y'all getting a lot of stuff? Yeah, you are. But when you go into the paid, You all get like really first class. I respect everybody, right? My subscribers. I go live for my subscribers. I'm attentive. You know what I'm saying? I don't make people feel that another group of people, yeah, Coyote drive in and then do Fort Worth. It is class A, delicious food. It's a nice sitting area. The best bathrooms are there because y'all, I'm very picky about bathrooms. I have I have a fear of nasty bathrooms. I'm not kidding you. I do. And I just don't chime with a filthy ass bathroom. So when I tell you they have really clean bathrooms, and you have it where you get on your radio in your car, and they don't have those things that hangs on the window, but you can tune into your car, right? You can tune into your car and find the station on the radio. You know what I'm saying? The station on the radio, and that plays the movie. What's airing on the movie, and it has like what I play in my movies, that nostalgia stuff. I know of a couple that travels around the world, the country, not the world, the country, and all they do is go camping. They get in their RV and they haul ass and visit drive-ins around the world. It's so exciting. It's so exciting to watch. My husband and I used to do that too. He used to get a dart and throw it, and wherever the dot landed, we jumped in the car and we took off. And then Jeff Lee invited us over to his house in Lufkin when his girlfriend comes down. So my husband and I had been thinking about, of course, we're going to get a hotel. He's like, no, don't get a hotel. We're going to get a hotel. Because, my husband likes his privacy, right? But we definitely want to visit him and show our support when his new girlfriend comes in town, to show his girlfriend that that Jeff Lee has friends, and he has people here that love him. It's really good to do that because it'll be his first time meeting her. So I just want to show, if we're able to do it, I want to show him support, and let her see that he has people here. You know how that has to be. You know what I'm saying? It's good to do. If he does it, he might have that, but it's good to have extra. You know what I'm saying? Extra people to support a person when they're bringing someone new in their life. Let them know, hey, you got some love in your life. You can't be taking advantage of my friend. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that she's doing that at all. I'm just saying I think it's this good support system. I'm trying to find on this phone here your cartoons that you posted. I remember seeing Star Trek at the drive-in Midland. Really? That would have to be a folly vid. It's getting hot now. Yes, Fort Worth. Yeah. And somehow, what was interesting, when we went in Fort Worth, we had some portable fans that we charged. Or we got some chairs, right? And we had some chairs, folding chairs, very comfortable, big folding chairs, right? I can't be in no very uncomfortable, cheap folding chair like back in the 60s, 70s, 80s. Big, comfortable chairs that you fold and you can travel anywhere and attend games and outside concerts and stuff. So we have those chairs. And so with that chair, we'd sit outside, and the temperature when the sun goes, it gets really nice. And we have portable pre-charged fans that we set, and it felt nice. I'm telling you, we didn't get hot. It didn't disturb anything. It was really comfortable. My husband and I just acclimated ourselves to travel and of course bring the conveniences with us because, we ain't gonna be out anywhere passing out. We're gonna make sure some food trucks and some clean bathrooms over there, we still got that bougie thing going on. Bougie, is that how you call it? Our I see you put Star Trek too. Let me put that down. Star Trek. You are the Star Trek. Let's see movies. And it's just a smart way of how I keep up with organizing things. just gives me ideas because you all's ideas are amazing. 20,000 K, my battery, and a 5V USB fan, and a cooler with ice. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we always had the backup battery. We had the cooler. We have it where my husband he can plug in things in the behind the car. So, we always had a blanket in the back. We packed just in case. Or if it rained, we had those things, those umbrellas you can, stick in the chair. Where if it was because we didn't never allow weather to hold us back, whether it was too hot or too cold or well, okay, if it's too cold, then yeah, we ain't gonna be sitting out there. But if it's adaptable, where we could bring a heater, what I'm saying? So we just lived it up when we lived up north. Down here, rural, since COVID, we've been stagnant. We've been kind of like right there. So yeah, that is awesome when you can have, the conveniences brought with you. Look at sweet baby. When you can have the conveniences, it makes it more fun for me. You know, here she is. She stays with me. She wants to be with me while I'm here at night. She loves my energy. I got a Jeep, fold down the back seats, and a bunk bed matters and camp. Yeah. Is that not fun? See, I grew up in the country, okay, on 50 acres of land. And I always say my dad still has that land, right? And that means I grew up barefooted, running in the woods. I had trails. There was old wagon trails still on the land from back in the day, right? And so there, we always make sure we had a couple of cows because cows are really great keeping, East Texas is very like thick. So we always had a couple of cows or donkeys or something that would keep trails open in the woods. And I remember always going barefooted. I couldn't wait to find, I didn't want to find a snake, but I couldn't wait to find snake skin. And I remember finding the biggest ass moccasin snake skin, the longest one I've ever seen in my life in the storage. Daddy had way in the back, not way in the back, maybe about 500 feet or so, 1,000 feet. To us, that's not way in the back. He had a storage building, still has it, windows and everything. It looks like a house actually, but it's a storage. And I went out there and we were looking through some things, and he has an old fashioned treasure chest type thing. And I saw the biggest snake skin, and I got it and brought it up to our porch to the house and let it hang by the plants. Holy cow, that damn thing was huge. I'm like, I don't want to bump into moccasins because they're poisonous. But that skin sure is beautiful. um, so Mike Aldana says my brother's wife also has a thing about clean bathrooms. Wherever they go out to eat kind of determines whether they come back. Oh, amen. Amen to that. It has to be a clean bathroom. There's no way. There's no way I would be there. No. I mean, if we're traveling, I will go to McDonald's. I will stop at McDonald's. It just depends how the place looked because I have a phobia of that kind of filth. I mean, I swear I do. It's just what it is. It's what it is. And so Coyote says we had a deer camp shed in the woods and camped with a fire and a four-wheeler. How fun. Oh, hey, Coyote, let me tell you. So when I was growing up, too, we had like bonfires every fall, right? My dad, during the year, he would do, you clean up your land, and he'd always have a place where if a tree fell or some limbs or something, he always had a place where we had so much land, so you put it way over there, safe for having a bonfire. And then when my cousins and I was come over, we'd have a big bonfire and we'd have like our hangers and we'd put like hot dogs or links on it, and we do hot dogs and links or marshmallows and cold ice, cold drinks or whatever, or hot cocoa. It depends what time. Of course, it would be the fall when it's cold. We didn't have no bonfire when it was hot in the summer. Uh-uh. No, 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 too hot. Then deer and pot of greens cooking day. Oh my God. We always had a person that we would give permission. We knew them, but gave permission where they could hunt deer on our property because it was like deer heaven, or still is like deer heaven. And my daddy didn't let a lot of people hunt on our property because, we made sure that people were responsible shooters, they weren't aiming toward our house because, as kids and everybody, all of us is playing in the yard. Just people he really trusted. And so I remember this person had a deer stand up there, and he'd plant some corn, and I would go into his deer stand when it wasn't deer season as a little girl, and I'd go up there, and that would be like my little playhouse. Can you believe what we did when we were kids? I would never let my grandson today or my granddaughter go out there by herself in the woods. I went to the back of the property, and my dad taught me how to read the sky, like how to read the sun will determine where my house is so I wouldn't get lost, and it would determine what time of day it was. So my dad taught me how to read the sky, right? And taught me that if I got lost in the woods, that walk a certain way and then follow the fence line back home. Ain't that something? How our parents taught us that? I would never let my grandson today do that. Go to the back of the property of 50 acres and by himself. But we did. And Coyote says, yes, nothing more magical than a bonfire and you can see the stars. Oh my God. When you're out in this black forest, because we were like a house in the middle of forest for miles. And all you would see is you always saw dragonflies, lightning bugs. They call lightning bugs. I call lightning bugs. They're probably lightning bugs. I call lightning bugs. You see, the moon was so big. You'd see stars all the time. In the city, you just don't see the stars. But I'm so blessed to be able to grow up and remember that. Is what has inspired me to also become a poet was, where I grew up. I had my muse everywhere. I would sing in the backyard and I would feel the forest come alive. And what that mean was that you knew when deer and rabbits were coming close, right? You could hear the rustling of the woods and the leaves and the trees, and the forest would come to you, wolves, cow, whatever is out there. And they loved to hear me sing, and I would sing to them, to the animals in the woods. And Coyote says, yes, I learned moon cycles too. North Star, yes. Those beautiful things. And I just, my heart's there. I am estranged from my parents for going into 5 years for a very good reason. I had my sisters, evil sisters, end up growing up and getting to know certain people in your family. And they just became really evil. And when my parents' minds start declining, they took advantage of my parents and they were very, very jealous. And as I've been retired, I've been able to heal and restore because I didn't see any of that as a kid growing up. I wasn't paying attention that I had jealous sisters or narcissistic um, family. I just didn't because when back then when people taught you respect your mother, your father. I'm firstborn, so I had a lot of responsibilities. I'm like 6 years older than one sister, 9 years older than the other. So me being so much older, I had a lot of responsibilities. And so there was a big age difference, and then I left North Texas to come down to help my parents because my mother had a second hip replacement surgery where she almost died of infection. At the same time, my dad's back went completely out. He wasn't asked, he would call and he would actually emotionally cry. So what inspired my retirement, I ended up getting severance pay from my job. I worked for an oil and gas company. I left and I came here to help my parents, help them with the land. Everything was overgrown. It was just horrible. But he didn't want to ask for help. Then I found out as I was living there with them, everything was a con, and it came how they were conning me. It was manipulation. It was just a really bad experience. So I was recovering too when it came to anxiety of them and their threats and their lies and the manipulation. And, I spent almost all my severance pay on fixing their roof and decluttering because they were hoarders in some capacity, fixing some fence and some installing new windows and having someone to come out and cut, and get a lot of that grass and stuff down and just manicure the place and make my dad proud again. And I started hearing things, from my sisters, and these are things that I end up noticing while I wasn't at home for years. You know what I'm saying? I was focused on my life. I was focused on honoring my parents, my mother and my dad. And I was just focused on just doing what I could as firstborn and just helping them live the rest of their life. Right? Yeah, landscaping because their backyard was bigger than their front yard because dad was so behind. Well, I couldn't catch up with that by myself. It was just me and my husband. So he got so behind that he kept secret because we always would, drop in town and watch my parents and invest in fixing, things around the house or, washing clothes and fixing the bed and organizing things. You know what I'm saying? Things that they asked us to do. We didn't overstep. So long story short, it's not all of the story, but just long story short, things came to head and it was like, we can't retire here. And trust me, they didn't want us there. My dad's mind, when their minds start deteriorating, you would think, well, I could stay with you for the rest of my life. But when you see other people in their head that's turning them against you, when you know you've given up your whole life for them, it's time for you to go, especially if there are threats. And I didn't want my husband exposed to that garbage, especially from my family. I said, we just retired. We didn't agree to this abuse and lies and like the most trifling thing I've ever seen in my life. And I found out I just outgrew that. I wasn't being a firstborn, I was never like a part of that anyway. You know what I'm saying? You know how sometimes they say every family has a star? Guess I'm that star of my family. So I'm finding another place. We moved out, and that's just long, just cut that short. Just so Coyote says, I feel like today's reality is a con and manipulation. It's like I've seen a different reality compared to this present reality. Yes, it's it's something when you go back home. Sometimes, okay, not in every case, but you'll end up finding lies. You know what I'm saying? You end up finding some things that was cruel. You end up learning some cruel things that they did your whole life, and there's indoctrination of some things. I would love to do landscaping, but I don't have a high tolerance for being outside for long periods of time. I understand too. It's a big job, but you're still young too. You know what I'm saying? Just depends if you can tolerate that kind of weather. You know, if you're physically fit, which I know you are, you know, I have to get this down. Mm-hmm. Indoctrination has been going too long, and it's just a lot of things that's happening with them now. I just found out, wow, how indifferent I was, how different I was too, and it was so bad it almost killed my husband and I when it came to the emotional abuse. It was bad. It was so bad. So we started over here, pretty quiet place, big space, affordable in the country, up in the hills of East Texas. It has lakes around us, and it's just really beautiful. I say, we could retire here. Who wants to go through, taking care of 50 acres of land when someone doesn't give a crap about you? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just have to give people their space back. You go in, help, and leave, you know. But the things they did, it was so dirty. It was so dirty. I'm talking about dirty enough for me to not be around them again. I love them, but I love them from afar because I have to, because they want to disrupt my life. You know what I'm saying? And then I realized since I've been retired that all that we were talking about time coyote earlier, and we are talking about um, things like that with me resting. I was used to be really badly depressed. I'm better now, but really badly depressed and sleeping. I just couldn't get out the bed. And things start surfacing in my brain. Like these aha moments, like things happened when I was a child growing up that I didn't pay attention to. It's like, oh my God, they were taking advantage of me. Oh, I didn't get to do this or didn't get to do that because since I was first born, I had to be the leader of being slave driven on the farm. Where my sisters went to college, I was so proud of them. I wasn't jealous. But if I stepped outside of doing anything that would make me happy, which meant go to college, it was like not meant for me. And they suppressed that purposely. I just started, my things start surfacing in my brain and in my dreams. You start repairing, you start healing, right? When you remove yourself from toxic situations and these things start surfacing and you go, you'll get a whole lot of aha moments. And I've been getting that in the last 3 years. It's going like 4 years now. Still things are surfacing. And it feels healthy now. It didn't feel like anxiety or, my parents were so cruel and my sisters that they told so many lies that they got with an investigator of the police department and lied. They reported me to Adult Protective Services 100 million times because their memory, they forget. Me being the businesswoman I am, I never told them when I left my job that I was given a severance pay. So I had a big severance pay when I moved in with them, and I paid for everything out of my pocket, right? So I kept receipts. I'm a businesswoman. I kept receipts. It's kind of takes some things out of me, but I'm okay. I kept signed contracts. I kept everything I spent, and I used my card. You know what I'm saying? I used my money to clean out the septic tanks. There's a lot of stuff that needed maintained. I I paid somebody here that came with a trailer and hauled a bunch of trash and junk that was kind of like in corners of their yard because they got older and they just couldn't take care, haul it off out of my pocket. So of course, and then I paid $5,000 out of my pocket, right? That my parents went with us, agreed and went to Bedford, Texas, right? Where we used to live. And had an attorney to draw up all of these papers, right, which is power of attorneys. Got to be smart when you make decisions, even when it comes to your parents, which I never used the power of attorney. I never needed to use it. But in case the doctor would say, okay, you're totally mentally declining, then I had rights to make decisions for them. But then they didn't, I thought, okay, there's certain things I didn't see that was kosher. And they signed a will because my dad said, my mom and dad had agreed this is what they want to do. There were wills. There was the I don't know if you all heard of a Lady Bird Johnson deed. And I share this with you because the Lady Bird Johnson deed is a deed that when your parents sign it, let's say if they pass away, the government cannot take their land. See, usually if you're using services like home health care, the government's coming by, doing nursing services, insurance doesn't pay for 100%. So they get a small cut, right, from insurance. And after they pass away, the government can take your land because you will owe the government those assets of unpaid debts. Even though if you're still living, those debts are paid through your insurance. But also, they keep up with what they lost and they get it back when people don't know about the Lady Bird Johnson deed. So I had that signed by them. They signed it. I can't sign that. They have to sign it. And they had their wills done, power of attorney. This is a whole set of estate planning. And I had that all locked in because I was not going to move forward being in that space without things being protected and covered because my plan was to be there forever, right? Well, when they brought up these cases against me, the detective looked at all of it. He's like, unfortunately, this happens a lot. He said, this happens more than you know. When he said that to me, I felt so good. I felt relieved because when you're going through stuff like that, you feel like you're by yourself. You know what I'm saying? The land that my parents had given me, which was 19 acres, they divided, so called divided by three daughters, found out that the 20 acres, when I had it, because I've been paying taxes on what's supposed to be my part of the land for years. When I had what the severance pay that I made, I took that money and I paid for someone to do, um, what do you call it? Try to remember the name of it when a land inspector comes out and kind of draws the lines, a land surveyor, you know. He deemed the property that they had supposedly given me was junk land. So it was part of the property you could do nothing with. It was floodplain. Can't build a house on that. And then there was a family member and some other trusted people came to me and they never told me before, but they said, yeah, I remember when they signed that over to you, I knew that was junk land. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? I wouldn't have not spent 8 years of my life on taxes for junk land. It was set up, where they willed my sisters, better pieces of the land. So it wasn't like dispute necessarily when it came to us dividing, it was the lies. Because if they were like, if I can't control you like I did when you was a child, which was a lot of abuse, which I didn't realize it till I got in my 50s. You know what I'm saying? I was kept in the dark. Let me catch up on the chat. So Coyote says, I experienced depression like that a year ago. Now I'm feeling better after realizing truths. Yes, when you find out the truth. And we went to the land place. It's a professional place here that has records of the land, not just the government office, where you pay your taxes, but it's another place. And I had them to investigate the land again. It was a hot mess. I found out it was fraud. They were frauding me. It's hurtful. I mean, I'm okay, right? I'm okay to talk about it, but it's just, you see my live reaction. It's like, I was homeless. I was the daughter that was a single parent. I was the daughter that did not have a brick home. You know what I'm saying? My other sisters had their houses and stuff, and I'm proud of them. I always lived out of an apartment. That's okay. else, that sister just always happy for someone else, right? So catching up on the chat. Now I'm feeling better after realizing truths, and it's hard to explain. It just happened. I'm so happy for you, Coyote, because it's tough. So during that whole time, I had to, while I was building my channel, all that time before I became a part of the YouTube partnership program, I was building, I was putting the work in self the whole time, you know? Um, and Coyote says, oh, so they are trying to take your land and wealth. It's a part of the system. We are born property by your Social Security. It's a maritime thing. See, you're from Mississippi. You're from the country. You understand. That's why I'm talking to you about, because I know you understand. Mike Aldana lives in Texas, I think. Y'all know. And then land was never intended to be taxed unless it is used for business. I was conned. So long story short, I had a dear CPA to my heart here to do my taxes after all my losses. Of course, you don't get everything back from losses like that. But I have still a CPA. I needed the CPA to take all those receipts and all that paperwork, let that be signed off by someone certified who could review all of that, substantiate stamp of approval that it's accurate, filed my taxes, another secure document that could protect me, because every year when it would be Christmas or when it became Christmas or New Year's or Christmas, Thanksgiving, she would call Adult Protective Services. I wasn't even around her. And then we have, of course, proof of living here and everything, right? So that helped the investigators. That helped CPA. Adult Protective Services, right? APS. That helped them. And I'll say, every year she's been doing this. My dad was passive about it. He's always been passive with mom because she had more mental problems with him, even though he has mild Alzheimer's, right? That he never wanted to get diagnosed, but living with him, I knew he had Alzheimer's. And my mother had schizophrenic. She had schizophrenia, Parkinson's disease. She had some other diagnoses, and I feel so good that I don't remember everything like this, because that means I've been doing the good work to supplement those things that I had to remember because I cared for them, right? I moved in with them. We were moved in with them for like 6 months, and we had to leave. And what was so strange, after we left instinctively and found another place, because we found out what the investigator told us. Investigators said that they had revealed that they had called Adult Protective Services months ago because that was how they were going to get us out of their house. So their plan was for me to spend money to be there and spend my time getting everything fixed, get their bills caught up, get their taxes caught up because they were behind on taxes. Daddy had Alzheimer's, so he was double paying on bills he didn't need to pay. Did they investigate her back? You can request the same. They set the tone. Yeah, they set the tone. So what's happened, there are records with the investigators, Adult Protective Services, where I could take it to go all the way. And because the attorney said that I could file, and I forgot the name of it, but it means when seniors, your parents, take advantage of you and steal from you. And I think I was so broken back then that I was like, I just don't want to go through this anymore. As long as I know with the investigation that you have the proof here, you have the power of attorney, even though I didn't ever need to use it. But if I needed hospital records and got their doctor's appointments, and my mother, she was going to be locked up in my daddy put my mother in an assisted living, which because he couldn't do anything because his back was completely out. So basically, I came in and just came in and brought them back together, brought their marriage back together, brought mom back home out of the assisted living, got her where she became healthy. Dad had a back operation. He became healthier physically, where he could maintain as much independence as he could. And after they felt that they used us enough, that it was time to set up something to get you kicked out. Y'all kicked out of our house because we took what we needed. Then I started learning, started thinking back as my mind was healing. I started thinking back, they were doing this to me my whole life. But I never paid attention to it. I paid attention, I'm firstborn, I'm supposed to work like this. I found out I was the Cinderella of the family. While my sisters goofed off, I was working in, a 10-acre garden. I was planting, I was in the heat, I was chopping wood. I mean, God, think about it. My dad was working, my mom, and she would leave me home at 9 years old where I took care of my parents. I mean, my two sisters, and one sister was a newborn, and the other one was 6 years old, and I was left home alone. And that's what they did back then in the country, right? Got cat hair in my eyes. And I would cook purple whole peas and cornbread and all that, greens. And when my mom would come home, dinner was cooked. And I'm 9 years old. So I was taught how to drive at 9 and cut the yard and chop wood and repair a fence and run the chickens in at night and open the gate. And I did them. You think about it, that those expectations was not held high for my sisters. And they were held high for me. So Coyote says, so Mike Aldana says, I don't like admitting that I worked for a short time with Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Yeah, it was challenging because when they would report to them, no matter what kind of information or historical information that they had on them and proof that it was a closed case and that I'm innocent, they still had to start the case open, fresh. And every time my mother had a knee jerk reaction of memory during when her mother passed away or during when Christmas came or Thanksgiving came, she would call because she forgot. You know what I'm saying? So when she called, they have to listen whether they feel she forgot or not. They still have to investigate. So I got the thing that took my health down too was that they had to. It put me through a lot of stress and strain. I just ended up having a briefcase full of all this stuff because I like every year of my life I was like, I mean, in the last 4 years I was like, oh well, I'm going to have to expect this call twice a year. I'm going to have to expect this call. Um, I'm going to expect this call. Twice a year during New Year's. She always would do that. And also, I had to expect a call from around Thanksgiving and Christmas because those were emotional times for her. So she would forget, but she'd call them. So my life was put on hold. I'm trying to get my lighting together. My life was put on hold for those years, and it was like harassment. You know what I'm saying? It just really took my health down. Okay, I'm putting my new lighting up here. Okay. I've got something in my eye. I gotta catch up on your chats because I want to see what you have to say. It's okay, Mike, too, when you said you don't like admitting that I worked for a short time. It's hard, because I know personally for me that uh, Texas Department of Family and Protective Services are underfunded. You know what I'm saying that whoever's in office, has a lot to do with that too when it comes to cutting back on those government jobs where you have people have these cases that are stacked and they could never catch up. So I can understand, even though it was hard, but they had to reopen the case every year because she'd call, because she had memory challenges and she'd forget and she'd call. You know, it disrupted my life where I just could not feel free. Right? It continuously reminded me. You know what I'm saying? Even though I had the proof, of course, I covered my ass. The bills that we paid for my dad, we made copies of the journal. You know what I'm saying? My husband kept receipts. Did very good business. So Coyote says, I know what you're going through. I'm I'm a three or third and my dad's brothers and sisters. Dad and five siblings. The third of my dad's brothers and sisters. Dad and five siblings are ducking out over land and money. My grandpa was senior, had lots of land and property. Farmer his whole life, field and livestock. And he was like traditionally like it's like when it's coyote, it's like when the parents die, like my mother and father's parents died, they lost their way. When the seniors, the elders died that kept them straight, they lost their way. You know what I'm saying? What they did to me, my grandparents and their uncles and aunts and all that would have never tolerated that. But because I have narcissistic, spoiled, rotten sisters, they took advantage of their age, even though I found out that my parents were doing things when they were younger. When they were younger. So it means I can't blame this on you getting old. You were doing this to me as long as I was around. So anyway, yes, thank you for sharing that, Coyote. And Coyote says, farmer his whole life in field and livestock. It's a dirty game, Rhonda. I'm glad you are with us. I'm glad. Coyote, I want to give you a hug. Coyote, Michael Downey. You see me kind of shake a little bit when I talk about it. Because I think I've gotten so much better. It's like I love them from afar. Because it's like if I see them, what they're going to do? It's going to trigger something for her to get back on calling Adult Protective Services every year, even though I'm not around them for 4 years. But they would tell Adult Protective Services that, yeah, she still lives here, or she just left 2 months ago, and I've been gone 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like have proof with my apartment lease, and it's kind of like a thing. It's like you do feel sorry, but it does get to a point where someone's calling the law on you. I mean, what is the purpose for that? Harm? If someone calls investigators on you, your goal is to harm me. So I can't use the excuse, oh, you're aging. I can't really use the excuse too that, oh, my sisters took advantage of them, even though they did. But I'm your scapegoat, your firstborn who left her career to come help you, you know? So, Mike Aldana says, a trail of patterns caused by triggers, vicious cycle. And Mike Aldana says, bookkeeping all those receipts was a good idea from the beginning, even though when my mother was in assisted living, because they called that part of rehab because she had a bad second hip replacement surgery that got infected. I was like miles and miles away. So I finally got here where I could really advocate for my mom, where they neglected her. It was just a whole bunch of mess. And I ended up just spending the night with my mom because I love her so much. You know what I'm saying? You can see in my heart, I love them from far because I don't need them disrupting my life, and I'm at peace right now. You know what I'm saying? Who wants that kind of stuff going on that drives you to get sicker and sicker and sicker? And then Coyote says, greed, Ron. It's amazing how ugly evil gets. Yeah. And it's amazing how when the leaders of the family passes away and then you see the ugly head surface, you know what I'm saying? You go, damn, I didn't know it was like that. You know what I'm saying? It's scary. Coyote says she has had something bad happen to her and she is reacting and try to forgive when you can. It's hard. I have been working on that because I had to let go. See, my mother had schizophrenia because I was letting you know that my family are survivors of the Tulsa riots, right? And so the Tulsa riots, that experience has really put in the DNA of my mother because she was so young. Her mother died when she was 2 years old, right, of tuberculosis. Yeah, Mike Aldana, you're right. And so my mother ended up growing up without her mother, but my mother's sister adopted her, and it seems like my mother, I call her my grandmother, but she's actually my aunt, but she adopted my mom, right? So she's my grandmother to me. And she adopted her when she was so young. So my mother claimed that she was neglected. You know, my grandmother at that time ended up experiencing her tubes and stuff being removed, you know, without her permission. That's what they did to people of color. And so she could never have children, but she adopted my mom because her sister died young of tuberculosis. And so that experience with the Tulsa riots, my mother felt that energy because she's younger, right? She's born in 1940s. And so she honed into that and she honed into her mother's loss. So, you know what I'm saying? You see how I understand, even how evil they were to me, I understand that mental, that mental, I was saying things that caught my eye there. Um, I can understand on both parts, my mom and dad and their mental break, because I work with seniors my whole life. And with me working with seniors my whole life and people paying me good money to help their family, you know, I was thinking, oh, wow, I got all this experience, more love, more patience that I could come in and really make a bigger, better difference because I was really a big believer on my parents living their life. So there was an extra room where it was a garage that they turned into a suite, right? A living suite. So living suite space. When we got there, it was badly neglected. So I spent my money on having it painted, have it cleaned out, new carpet. We had people. My grandson was almost almost earned his angel wings during that time. Okay, I don't like using the D word. So I was going through that too, and they didn't even care that I was suffering from the fact that my grandson was in the hospital. I was going through that too. Okay, and so mind you, we had all this stuff moved, and I was paying money out of my pocket, having air conditioned heating system installed in that back room area, and had it done where my husband and I could retire because my parents said we could live there, and they thought, well, you know, they fed us all these dreams, but their purpose was to use me and my money. So eventually, when they got through with their surgeries and got better, they used me to get them both back home. And it's like, we don't need you anymore. We got everything we needed out of you. So my husband and I had to start over financially. So that's why we're here, mooching off of you. I just love talking to y'all. Thank you all. I know y'all had a lot to hear from me, and I'm sorry, kind of sorry. But I trust you. And thank you for letting me get that off my chest because this is the first time I ever talked about this. Even though I know it's going to be available for other people to hear, it's okay. I told you, and it feels like that both of you are here. Oh, look at April. Hi, April. And Coyote says, my grandma, welcome back, April. My grandma was an orphan from Corpus Christi, Catholic orphanage, and on my mom's side and major trauma. My dad's side was more sane, but barely. That's where they're fighting now, and I missed. I know it was a lot, and I trust you all with that, you know, and it's healing for me to take that step To look at the love and the roses. You all are such beautiful gentlemen. You see that, April? I have a really, I have really good friends. It's so beautiful for me. I didn't expect to say this tonight, talk about that, but I know it's been in my heart and my mind. Um, it shows me how much I've grown, and I like how Coyote said too. It's a dirty game, Rhonda. I'm glad you are with us, and thank you because I was going through so much with my grandson, and it was just really hard. It was so hard. I love the hearts and the love. I love the beautiful, because you know me, I'm always about love and blowing kisses and hearts and Catholic charities. Yeah, I gotta read that again. My grandma was an orphan from Corpus Christi, Catholic orphanage, and all my moms on my mom's side had major trauma, and my dad's side was more sane, but barely. And that's where they're fighting now. So what I've done, I removed myself from such toxicity. I haven't spoken to my two sisters either. And my husband's family I'm closer to. They're my family. And I'm okay with that. And my two daughters and her babies, which are my grandbabies, and my husband's grandchildren, and now we're great grandparents. They all give me so much love. So I love my life today. It's like it is as authentic as it can be. After my grandparents passed away on both sides, after the family leads of the family, the leaders, my parents went to hell in a hay basket. When you get older, you respect your parents, right? But then you find out, well, they made a lot of really bad decisions. I mean, not trying to be mean or disrespectful. I'm just saying, when you become that person that they have targeted, then your mind becomes more open. I never saw that until I turned, what, 50? I'll be 58 next month. I didn't see any of that growing up. I just thought it was what I was supposed to do, right? I was supposed to work like a slave. I was supposed to forgive my mother when she slapped the fire out of me. When she abused me. I forgave my dad. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know. My dad would always stay outside and work, and he would always throw me to the dogs, right? And when I say throw me to the dogs, my dad would always make me go in there to face my mom. I'll find out then that my mom was going through mental breakdowns, or she was aggressively mean, bipolar, all of that, schizophrenia. So my dad would set me up as a child my whole life to go be with my mom because he couldn't handle it. So I would be the test dummy, right? They put me in there to face my mother during her mental cruelty. So I was the daughter she did that to. I ended up learning that years later because I thought throughout my whole life, okay, it was when you live in a country, it's not like you had neighbors to talk to. So I was very isolated. And I end up just my whole life end up putting the good work in my health, my mental, and get my test run. And I go, wow, I'm that person that's sane in my family because both my sisters are not too smart. The elevator doesn't go all the way to the top. I say that now. I'm not trying to be cruel, but back then I was big sister. I was supposed to rescue them, right? No matter what F up relationships or situations they were in, I was the chosen one. It was my job being firstborn to fix everything. And so April says, be right back. Shaking my head. Sorry, Rhonda. Thank you, April. And then Callie says, I love my parents, but it was a poor upbringing. My mom has had me at 15 years old. It kind of cooled down now because we are close in age. Yeah. And Michael Dana says, be at peace with what God has blessed, provided for you. Now I am so happy. I think you all can see that, but I am so much at peace. I'm so happy now. Probably the first time in my entire life that I can make choices and live right now without anybody being around. It's me and my husband building together and making those decisions without having to, be that person, the chosen one, to fix everybody else's stupidity. You know what I'm saying? And then Callie says, I have three sis, a brother and half sis. Yeah, I had to become, that's beautiful too. And I had to become estranged. I'm happier because my husband's family is my family. He has a lot of family and they are mature. They are mature and they know what I've been through. We aren't responsible about everything with age. I understand. Yeah. So, me, and I'm sure Mike and Coyote, y'all were raised to, honor your mother and your father. So I also had to deal with guilt, right? I had to deal with the indoctrination of what I supposed to do according to the Bible from my parents. And they used that a lot to manipulate me. So after I spent all my money, my retirement, my husband and I ended up downsizing and we're happy. We downsized. We are at peace. We live in a nice apartments here. Huge patio. We do patio gardening. We have our 5 cute cats. I have my live channel. My husband cooks. We are so happy now. And I thank you all for, letting me talk to you and listening to me. And I'm I love you all and I thank you because my story is so much bigger than what I've been, pretty much sharing. But I understand, about anxiety. I understand stress. I understand. I'm not saying I understand everything about it, because you have to walk in people's shoes, right? But I want to relate because I've had a little test myself. Simple life, happy wife, happy life. Of course, simple life. Oh my God, you all can tell. I am so happy. I hadn't been that happy since I could say when I was a child before I started learning those sad things, looking, cleaning out my daddy's, dresser drawer and finding these things where my sister was copy and pasting stuff and printing things from what I wrote, my poetry, and giving it to my dad and saying, look what she wrote. Oh my God. It was pathetic. It's so pathetic that it's embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? You're going to like tell daddy what I've been writing. Oh my good Lord. I started just putting two and two together how pathetic it was. And I start putting two and two together how happy I am today. I mean, resting. I would say out of the 4 years, I'm into is it going to my fifth year? My fifth year now? Well, this whole year has been my best. You know what I'm saying? It's been my best. Even though I knew that there's that journey that you have to go through, and the journey is tough. And the journey sometimes will doubt you. Sometimes the journey you will question things, and sometimes you just have to keep on moving. You have to keep doing the work. Even when you lost your faith, you still have to keep finding it. Like if there's pockets of faith and a cracked window, you got to peep through it and you got to find it somewhere, even how small and tiny it is. You still have to, you know, believe that there's something so much bigger and better than the pain that you're going through. That is so much bigger and better. It's gotta be. And I'm that living proof. I'm like that face on the milk carton, the happy face, not the sad one of missing persons, but I'm literally living my full life being 58. I am literally just, feeling really good, and moving on. And that place I'm at now, I would share with people, is that I'm able to really hone into answering my husband, answering his question, what do I want in life? What do I want? I can answer that now. What do I love? What do I love to eat? What do I love to do? So Coyote says, I have a vision of a cloudy night with an opening in the fog of a bright big moon, and I felt alive. I believe you conjured me, Rhonda. Probably. You could tell when you live long enough, you know, right? I'm a believer. You see, there's no doubt in me. And Michael Dan says, keep marching forward with a smile on your face, no matter how much it hurts. Thank you. I'm at a really good place. I feel at a very safe place. I feel like that. I'm really good. And I found out that even doing this YouTube channel has taken me on these beautiful healing journeys of meeting people and finding pockets of hope and healing. And I just love that too. I got to reread that too. Coyote said, Coyote says, I have a vision of a cloudy night with an opening in the fog of a bright big moon. And I felt alive. I believe you conjured me, Rhonda. How beautiful. Oh, wow, that's deep. You know, y'all know how I am, right? Then I found out last 5 years that I'm an empath, right? I'm not, I think there's different kinds of levels of empath. I don't think I'm the part where I allow people to take advantage of me. You know what I'm saying? I got some strengths. Um, but in an empath way, I think I absorb energy. I know that when there's connections, I know for a fact it's bigger than me. It has something to do with higher power. You know what I'm saying? I know that I don't live on this earth alone, just that I have control of everything around me. I know I don't, because I know that during my lowest times in my life, that only it was a conversation I had with my higher power, right? So for it to come around so easy, then it's something bigger happening. You know, I mean, I'm that person that I'm just not talking about stuff because, oh, I want to do a crystal ball and I want to read your future. No, I'm just letting you know my walk in life has been real, where I've seen, to me, the worst. And then Mike Aldana says, grown men cry too. Mwah. And then Coyote says, full moon is tomorrow. Oh, it's amazing. You put that together, don't you? You put that together like how, because I got Native American in me, I got the African in me, I got Creole, I got Choctaw, I got Cattle Indian, I got so much. Them men in my family, they got around. They were rolling stones, weren't they? I mixed got the Cherokee, I got the high, the Cherokee, Native American, big whatever from Cherokee and African and Cherokee, Choctaw, Caddo, Creole. Boy, they got around, didn't they? Voila, here I am. I'm all of that. Mixed up your high. Look at that. When I smile, them cheekbones go, ooh. I'm so happy about my cheekbones because I was telling about my story that my face felt like this and I felt my skin getting longer under my chin. I'm like, ooh, let me get my smile back and let me get these muscles back going back up again. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I never paid attention to myself in the mirror until I start going live. I start saying, God, I'm not a bad looking chick. You feel when you're depressed, you feel ugly to the world. You feel the weight of storms on your back. Like you feel the clouds feel like the weight of an elephant. Then you know how I felt. And things started uplifting. And I started feeling free. I did. I started feeling free. And it took me to a bigger level. I know it sounds weird, but when I started doing movies and I started saying, oh my God, my brain still works. I'm going to learn this Microsoft editor and I'm going to do movies. Because as I know of, you all can tell me, I seem to be, and I could be wrong, but I seem to be probably the only woman online that does movies and cartoons. Since I've been just my circle as far as recommendations and YouTube and access, I haven't seen a woman that does movies and cartoons. I don't like producing things. Um, so Mike Aldana says, is that why Charles Barkley was howling yesterday when he was making his Mavs Timberwolves prediction? I gotta watch that. See how y'all entice me so beautifully. It's like I gotta like pay attention. Y'all introduce me to things I can watch. Something different than what I've been watching. And then Calio says, yes, the world feels heavy, but I feel how it feels lifted. I know how it feels when it's being lifted. It does. I'm trying to look at my chat just stopped over here, but I can see it over here. But yeah, it's a lot. I know without a doubt the things that I experience and the things that I've been through and going through. I know my lifetime. I know when things are bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? I know when things go, oh my God, did you see that happen? You know, it's like, whoa, this is real. You know what I'm saying? It's like that conversation or that's something that happens that's unexplainable, but in your head. And that's how I feel. It's probably why I could just create and enjoy and love my life and love my friends. Uh, Learn that I can feel secure using the word love, that people trust me. You know what I'm saying? That people trust me. I trust you. And that we can do that. Yeah, there's a lot of creepy things going out there in the world and bad mistakes people made. But you know what? You get to a point where you learn what not to do. Either you're born with it or you're not. Even you get it or you will never get it. You know, I had a dream that this would happen. Like, I'm the kind of person that's like, when I do things, I know that things open up for something else, something else better, right? I know because I've lived that life where it's happened, right? So you end up taking those ingredients, taking those things, those nuggets, and you end up going, well, let me try it again. It worked before. And it opens up a whole much more beautiful world. So Coyote says, your age giving a special history. It is like a different timeline. Think about what that question about time question, Rhonda, already understand. Yes, you are. Yes, I already understand. Oh, yeah. You know when you were talking like that. And I do feel that there are people that is out there that is just finding them basically. And I think what makes it so incredible is that when you go online, it opens you to a bigger world, right? Like minds, people like you, like me. Um, I don't worry about that autocorrect. Oh yeah, I like that. I like reading comments twice. You know what I'm saying? Because I like deciphering that. I want to learn. I want to absorb things. So sometimes you'll hear me when I'm live and doing things. You'll hear me repeat something twice. I'll read something over again, or while I'm talking, I'll pull something that I've already said, and I'll bring it back and I'll repeat it. Because it's me absorbing, it's me processing, it's me wanting to remember you and what you said and wanting me to learn what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Not to absorb. So I like to read things over again. So I say, you are giving a special history. It's like a different timeline. Think about what that question about time question, Rhonda, you already understand. It's always someone out there that gets it because when I went through things, it's, in my life that I was so blessed. When I was homeless, did you know I had in this program, I had nuns that prayed for me? And it was amazing. I've never had an experience like that. I ended up in Arlington because I couldn't live with my sister because she had a very toxic marriage and a man that was a cocaine addict. And I got on the phone book really fast and I was like, uh, a place I can stay. I'm homeless. Where can I go? And I ended up making phone calls to get the hell out of there because he was sicko, right? Prescription drug addictions. It was like, oh, that's when I left home and moved up north. And then I ended up finding the women's shelter and Arlington Life Shelter. These beautiful places that helped me get on my feet and become self sufficient. I worked through these programs and these women as I was growing and being successful and graduating at the Salvation Family Center that the Dallas, who would ever think? The Dallas Cowboys sponsors this Family Salvation Army Center. It's called Family Salvation Army Center. After I graduated from there, I got help from there. And after I graduated from there, do you know? Yeah, the connections. Did you know that I found out because I went during a time which was late in fall during season, not during their time when they were out there, um, doing their community work and stuff. So it was during Thanksgiving and then Christmas and then New Year's during the November, December, January, February, right? So I worked through these programs and Dallas Cowboys in Arlington sponsors where I stayed. That the program that helped me. And the woman that was head of the program, she said I was doing so well because I would volunteer. I was homeless and I would volunteer. And that's when we had Katrina, people who was affected by Hurricane Katrina. I was a volunteer passing out clothing, T-shirts, had T-shirts and bread and food, mostly bread, I had bread products on my shift and I would just give it away. I didn't have to volunteer. I wanted to. And my daughters were a part of passing out food and stuff. And I was homeless and I had the time to give, you know what I'm saying? So I would have opportunity to do that. So when we put in the good work, the people there, the nuns called me in for a meeting. They picked me up because I didn't have a car. The bankruptcy, I lost my car, I lost my mobile home, I lost all that. So the nuns called me. I was at Salvation Family Center and they have connections there and the Arlington Life Shelter, that's where the nuns were. They contacted Salvation Army, which was a program I had graduated into. They said, Ronnie, we'd like to meet you. We'd like to get a van, come pick you up and come bring you here, which is probably about 3 miles away. So guess what? The nuns handed me a title to a new car. It was a Nissan Maxima 2000. Ran so good. I was crying. The nuns gave me a car with stick shift. So thank God I knew how to drive stick shift. It was a Nissan Maxima. They gave me a car. You see? So my experiences with these beautiful people, I ended up working through programs and became self-sufficient and worked my way through. And when I was through those programs, I got no support from my family. Didn't look for it. Had good counseling there and good support. They helped me through understanding my situation. I was coming out of in the past, like a very violent relationship, and I got counseling through the women's shelter. So being homeless helped me. Those programs helped me become stronger. And I met a lot of wonderful people. I started over, and got on my feet. And just let you know, hey, I'm like that poster child. If I can do it, you can do it too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Got a story. I got a good story. And Lord have mercy, when I call it a story, it's like, it's my life, it's what I went through. And my parents knew I went through all that, and they didn't give a damn. I'm telling you now, some cold-blooded people. Very cold-blooded. And then Michael Dan says a lot of that help goes through Catholic Charities, Women's Shelter, and interactions with the nuns. Yes, it was. Yes, they all came together. And you talking about feeling honored. You know, when you're homeless and you don't have a car, that means I was walking everywhere. In order to be in, when I graduated to the Salvation Army Family Center that Dallas Cowboys sponsor, right? That you have to have a job and you got to take 75% of your income and put it in a savings. That's a part of the program. And it's 3 months program. And after you graduate, you have a savings, you have a place to live, you have food stamps because you save the food stamps while you're in the 3 month program. So you'd have like $3,000 worth of food stamps. You know, the goal is to get you where you're on your feet. And when you get on your feet, you can make it. That's the goal. So I was trying to find a job during that time. You ready to hear this? You want to hear this about the Dallas Cowboys? Listen to this. I didn't have a job. Exactly. I didn't have a job. You ready to hear this? This is about Dallas Cowboys. Before I got the car, before they gave me the car, I was walking and got a job at Arby's. So someone who was in the program with me knew of the manager at Arby's because you have to have a job to be eligible to stay in the Salvation Army, right? Because you got to take 60%, 75% of your income, put in a savings, right? You don't spend any of your money. So I end up walking, and you got to understand, if you do the math, go to Arlington and do families, not Salvation Army, it's called Family Salvation Army. How many miles from there to Arby's? And Arby's is on Cooper. I got a job at Arby's right across the street from the Dallas Cowboys stadium. Now remember, when I worked at Arby's, when I was homeless, working through self-sufficiency and the Salvation Army program, there was a Walmart across the street. There was no Cowboy Stadium then. But they were talking about, it was just a rumor that they were going to build Cowboy Stadium. So understand that I'm there at Arby's. I was getting promoted to be supervisor. I worked my ass off, y'all. I worked so many hours there to make a decent check. I'm cleaning tables at Arby's, right? And I'm looking across the street. If you Google Arby's, Arby's is on Cooper. The Dallas Cowboys Stadium is right there on Cooper. Okay? So understand, I'm wiping tables and I'm hearing about Cowboys Stadium is going to be built there. Cowboys Stadium wasn't there yet. And I'm wiping the tables and cleaning the restaurant, and I'm looking across there just to know that I was there before Dallas Cowboys Stadium was built. Google it. Google it. Go Salvation Army Family Center and put in Arlington Life Shelter. I was there. Put Arlington Life Day Shelter, because one place you could spend the night, but you had to leave 7 o'clock every morning. And then put Arby's on Cooper Street. And I was working there at Arby's at Dallas Cowboys Stadium. So yeah, me being a fan has grown even more because the Dallas Cowboys contributions helped me and my 2 daughters. Yeah, sure did. So there we go. Why? I love the Dallas Cowboys also. So Mike Haddad says, I was about to say Cooper Street, Arlington, Texas is a main road through the city. Exactly. It's the main street. Arby's is there. Did y'all Google Arby's? If Arby's is still there, it should be still there. Arby's on Cooper. That's where I worked. And then you could Google, like I said, Salvation Army Family Center. You could come see the vicinity of Salvation Army Family Center, Arlington Life Shelter, Arlington Day Shelter, and then Arby's. And it's all within this circle, right? And then there's University of Arlington is right there. So my daughters and I would walk to the university to go to the library and go check out books and read during our downtime because we could get a library card. And so it's all in that vicinity. Unless since then they've, done some alterations. I don't think so. You was there before Jerry, exactly. I was. I was there before the stadium was built. And that's when they were just now talking about the rumor. And they just built a Walmart. You look at Walmart on Cooper. And I would look while I was cleaning in Arby's. Yeah. I would look and I go, how in the hell can they find space to build the stadium? There's no way. I mean, I'm working there and I saw it. I'm like, there's no space. Then I saw, okay, there were some neighborhoods over there. Obviously, they were buying out people's houses, real estate, land, but there was no way that I saw that there could be a Cowboy stadium put there. I was like, no way. No way. Because I was busting tables. I loved my job. I was good at my job. I had the cleanest bathrooms in Arlington, Texas. There's too many retail businesses and neighborhoods in the area. Yeah, it's like Cooper's got a lot of businesses. They have a Whole Foods there because I remember driving to Whole Foods and picking up some fresh greens and stuff so I could make salads for Arby's because I was in training to be a supervisor. And I would drive on Cooper to go to Whole Foods, I think, and get that and bring it back, and I would make salads, and people wouldn't know me. During lunchtime, they would come see me during lunch. It was like, is Rhonda here? Okay, I want her salad. And they bought out the right people with the right plots of land. Yes. Arby's should be still there. I don't know if it's still there. If y'all are able to Google it, Arby's on Cooper. That's where I worked. And across the street, they built Cowboy Stadium. I said, wow. All these things, Coyote too, that we're talking about timing, right? That's a good example. Arby's, yes. Arbys is Arby's. It's old Arby's there, and that's where I worked at. I worked there, I think, for maybe 2 years, 3 years. And then I had a life coach that was helping me through my program when I graduated past Salvation Family Center. I went to Community Enrichment Center. So I kept graduating, taking safe, healthy steps because my daughters are with me. I wasn't going to expose my daughters to any unhealthy environments, right? And we were still in school, and they had gyms there and indoor programs, so my kids were safe and still going to school and getting their doctor's appointments and things like that. So Community Enrichment Center, which is North Richland Hills, continued sponsoring me for 2 years. And that's when my life coach was like, Rhonda, you're going to have to get a better job. You can't be out there working at Arby's and think that you can be self-sufficient. I said, I love working at Arby's. I'm going to be a manager. He says, no, you're not. If he hadn't promoted you for this long, you're not going to be a manager. It was a physically tasking job. It was very hard. But when you stay with something long enough, you become relaxed. You become chilled. You go, well, okay, I don't feel like really growing anymore. I'm tired, right? And applying online and up getting a job with oil and gas business online. It called me for an interview. And that's how I went into oil and gas administration. Worked for a very big company that paid me 4 times more than I ever made in my life. And I'm just growing bit by bit. And enjoyed apartment living because they have some really nice apartments up there, Enjoy that I didn't have to cut a yard, right? Because, I told you all about me growing up on a farm. I didn't have to work on a farm. It was luxurious still today because I don't have to work on a yard because I had a 10-acre yard I had to cut. Imagine when summertime came, how you had to cut yard sometimes 2 up to 3 times a week because that's how fast grass grow in the summertime, especially when it rains. How fast grass grows, and you have to keep that yard cut because if that what's it called, Mahea grass, will grow too big. It's like kind of like a, hey, if it grow too big, excuse me, um, that it was held cut. So you had to keep things cut. And Coyote says, I manage multiple phone stores, but now I contract. That's awesome. That's awesome when you could sacrifice some times in your life where you can finally get to that point, right? Of okay, I made it. You know what I'm saying? And then Coyote says, I travel a lot in my area. I did that when I was younger too. So happy to get to point Coyote and Mike Aldana and April that I could just be retired and not be stressed out about politics of office environment. That's awesome. My husband drove big tour buses for over 30 years. He's happily retired now. He spent his most of his life driving from Canada to Chicago, all the East Coast down to Florida. He traveled. Oh, that's cool. Me too. We have a lot in common. I also love nature. See, look at Mom there. See, she's not going nowhere. She's right here. She seems to like that lamp light on her belly because it's warm. That cat hair. I always have cat hair. See how she's moving with her little tail. Yeah. She feels my energy. She just sleeps here, just stays here. I love nature too. That's why, she is spoiled. Yeah, she is. Spoiled. When I go to sleep at night, let me tell you what I do. When I go to sleep at night, you know what she does? She sleeps at the foot of my bed. That's her spot. And she's protective. You know how they say like watchdogs are protective? She is protective. Okay, like has that cat watchdog behavior. And she's protective. And it's amazing. Cats are. They have this skill. And she's training her cats, the other cats, to be like that too. They stand tall and strong when someone knocks at the door. We have ring on the front and the patio door, so we keep up with trying to have as much security as we can, so we can live at peace. And but she sleeps at the foot. She's the only cat that's loose at night. So she spirit world or whatever people call these days. Yes, and that's why when you see that, you can tell, like you said, with more the spirit world, that we feel that with each other. That's why and God, she loves Andre too. Oh my God. When you see a cat gravitate to you and love you like that, that means you have something special about you. Because cats pick up on dark stuff. They don't want to be around dark things. You know what I'm saying? And they go, no. They I use this stuff on my lips because it has moisturizer, not to dress up for anybody. Because this light, it has moisturizers in it. Even though it has a color, it has moisturizer, so it makes my lips feel great. But yeah, she's a spirit world. Look at her. She feels. She's so loving. And when a cat lets you touch their stomach, there's a serious trust there. And they said when cats let you touch their paw. Okay, now she's kicking me back a little bit. But see her front paw? Look at that. Yeah, front paw. I respect her boundaries. Look at her. Look how she's teasing me. She's going all the way upside down. Hi. 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 She gets in it, boy. She gets in it. So cats are in tune with the spirit world. Yes, they are. They are. That's why I love them around. I was doing some research a couple months ago about cats and their energy, and I was reading about how they go way back, especially how the Egyptians, and how they, have them as idols that they worship and prayed with, and how the cat symbolism played an important role when it came, like you said, to the spirit world. And so, yeah, I do my research about cats and love, and how to make them happy here, and how to give them a healthy life, and they enjoy it. When I was in the country, uh, Mike Aldana, Mike Aldana says cats expose their belly to those they really trust. Exactly. Look how she's sitting there. She's like, she stimulated me now. Hi, where you going? Where you going, honey? She likes my voice also. I sing to my cats, and when I sing to them, they gravitate to my voice. It's like my old cat was a beast. Hello, baby. Hello. She loves my voice. I don't know where she's going. Come here. Come here. Come here. She's over here. She's like, well, let me get up and give her some attention because she touched me. So she touched me. Now I gotta like show mama some love. My old cat was a beast. Ooh, wow, my old cat was a beast. He could tear my flesh up, but only dots on my arms. I know. I think right here, I might got like a little scratch. You know, they have this. They have this cartoon that's out, right? This cartoon that's out. Did you burn your nose, honey? Oh, I don't want you to burn your nose. She's want to sniff the lamp. Why she wants to sniff the lamp? So, what was I saying? Oh, I was talking about this animation that's out there. I'll have to see if I can find it again. And so it's a cartoon animation in a newspaper, right? And it shows this woman. She's like, oh, you know, she's got that face like, I love my cats. And it shows like marks all over her body, like like scratches because she's a cat parent, and she's got whips all over her. And she's like, I love my cat. I gotta start posting. You gave me an idea. I'm gonna start posting cat cartoons on my community tab. So Kelly always said, it's the light. Don't flicker it. Oh, you're talking about like flip it? Yeah, I mean, what do you think it's about? I mean, I know it's hot. It's a hot lamp. I mean, the temperature, like, it's hot. She could burn her nose. And she's right here. And to me, she's too close to it. What are you doing? Yeah, baby. She's always attentive to me. Flicker means like turn it off, like make it flick. It's a light that my husband had 100 million years, and I don't. I'm not big on throwing things away. I like recycling things, right? And my place don't look junky. It's like certain things I'll buy new, right? But there's certain things like if I see an office old-fashioned lamp, then if it works, I'm gonna tweak it. So it's one of those old lamps that gets very hot. I don't think by any standards it would be approved or for sale today. But if my cat keeps going over there sniffing on it, she's gonna burn her nose. So I don't want her to do that. She's kind of moved there. I don't know if you can see her. Can you see her now? Let me move this out the way. See, she's right in front of the lamp. She's got that heat right in her face. And I guess she likes the heat. Hi. She fine. Heat rises. I'm trying to turn it where you can see. That's all I need to do is turn the lamp down. I am still learning things about my computer that it swivels like that. I didn't know. Remember I was trying to get my paper all together? So Mike says, you're probably someone who used to own or have a kerosene lamp. How'd you know? Because of me being so conservative? Why throw it away? You know what I'm saying? I love antique type stuff too. I do. I love it. See, you can see her now. See? So she's just sitting here. Hi, honey. She felt me touch her, and she's like, oh, take me now. she's extra, and she's a diva. She's like, oh. I could touch her a little bit, and she's like, "You got me. Take me." See how her tail? Look how she's looking at me. Exactly. Mike says cat's attraction to something hot. Exactly. So look at her. Watch me when I do this. Ah, ah. Let's see what she does. Ah. She'll sometimes look at me like, "Are you okay, Mama? Are you okay? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with her?" There she goes again. She always acts like she's reading something too. See what she's gonna do. Okay, now she's pushed things over. Like I think she turned around so the lamp could warm this side. See right here? She's turned. Like you said, she gravitates to the heat. And she's my baby. She's a sweet baby. She was wild. She was a feral cat. She is wide awake now. I understand. That's what I mean about the wide awake statement earlier. Did I read your statement? She is. She is wide awake. Looked like it got dark all of a sudden. I'm like, did she get in front of it? Oh boy, she's gonna burn her face. Baby, this is hot. So I have a cat pillow for her. I have a cat pillow. So if I put it here, she'll be like, "I don't want that around me. Leave me alone." She's a diva. Telling you. Watch this. Hi, baby. Here's a pillow. I don't know if she's a fan of the pillow. Oh, she licked it. Surprised. I've had bought that pillow for like 4 months now, and she would not like it. She's licking the pillow. Now watch her move because she doesn't like laying on it. But I put that here because I don't want her to burn by the lamp right here. Yeah, I gotta look see what you said that statement. Is the light if the lights don't flicker? And you said you're probably someone who used to own or have a kerosene lamp. Michael Dana said that. She's fine. Heat rises. I gotta see where the awake statement is. I'm looking for it. I'm determined. I didn't know my computer tilt down because I don't want to go too down, but that's perfect. Right? I've been organizing things a little bit where I could, like, I'm on my cell phone right now and I'm trying. Thank y'all for letting me talk to y'all and, you all around there listening. Thank you for listening, because obviously I felt I could talk to you and trust you and listen and talk, because I just appreciate it. That's all I can say. I really appreciate it because I haven't talked about that in a very long time as far as talking about that situation. Martha is studying your to-do list. Can y'all read that? I tried 5 different Django movies and I was finally able to. I had to start over because I was determined to get a Django movie that didn't have Arabic captions because YouTube was approving the Arabic. If you posted some jacked up material, YouTube will approve it. But I didn't want that, so I kept looking. I almost gave up because YouTube is huge. Okay, it's big. So when you search for something on YouTube, trust me, you think you're getting access to that search that you made? Do you think you're getting access to everything? You're not. YouTube has some control of how much they put out, how much that you have access to and what you see. So that's why with me having a channel, YouTube, when I have better analytics, YouTube would put my stuff out a little bit more territory, more visible, so I am looking for Coyote's cartoons so I can finish writing this. Let's do it. Let's see. Maybe she's looking for Aristocats. Coyote Candlelight is great for writing and easy on eyes. Yes, it is. Yes, I just try to. I don't know if he knows. I try to fix his background. I was telling Coyote too about my flower and my vase. I made that vase, and I make floral arrangements, and those are my pillows. That I love. I love pillows with texture. It has 3D stuff that pops out, and I kind of set it so it can look appealing because sometimes I'll see a lot of people sitting in the cut. They're not in the chat room, but they're here listening. A lot of people think when you see views, a lot of people think, well, um, they think that that is how many that's there. Well, I've learned no, because sometimes when I close out, I end up seeing like 60 views. Like there's more people sitting in the cut. It's like you have to be on YouTube to really understand it, and you got to be on it in different ways, and then you got to be also patient. Because if you think you can speed up and do things, it's not. You're gonna break down and quit. So I just take my time, and I just love talking to you all. It just feels good. I didn't expect to talk about that. I have a couple people too that are from Arabia that are subscribers. Um, Sometimes people will subscribe because they like the movies. The bigger you get, the more. Oh yeah, my husband was saying that. My coyote. He said you're going to get a lot of trolls. So I had a couple 2 days ago, I think, and a couple months ago. And it was so empowering when someone was there and they just blocked them. It was empowering. It kind of did. I have to get used to, if I see a troll, don't let it knock me off my square. You know what I'm saying? It kind of gets me forgetting what I'm talking about, kind of shakes me. I didn't know it would do that, right? That I would be cool with it. I'm a badass. I can handle it. And it did kind of shake me up. So what makes me feel great, and didn't like, assign wrenches for y'all to work. Just if you choose, you know what I'm saying? I don't want y'all to feel you have to work at all. I want y'all to enjoy yourselves. I don't want y'all to ever feel that you have the anxiety to come to my channels and have to feel, well, I got to be on guard. I got to, I want you to relax. I want you to enjoy yourself. I just want to show you, I'll give you, more power because I trust you, More trolls. Okay, yeah. And Kanye says, yep, they feed emotions. Yeah, this is sick. I too think that there's bots. I think people have programmed bots to harass, even though I have noticed in other people's content, I have noticed that there is a lot of, seems like one person with several different names. You know what I'm saying? And they come in. It's like, how pathetic. Who wants to spend their life making up lots of names and getting blocked and keep coming back with same stuff? That's a part of the business, social media. Yes. Yes, it is a business. There's a very dark side to it. I just pray and hope that I can continue being successful. And I think how I can is just use those devices that are made available for us to block. Don't give attention to it. Don't fight. Don't tease. And, I'm not that kind of person anyway. So I'm the kind of person, I don't need to spend that kind of energy on you. I'm not that bored. You know what I'm saying? Quietly, discreetly, get rid of them. I'm not going to call out their name, and I'm not going to go, I blocked you. Don't bring your ass back. I'm not going to do that. That's crazy. That's like tempting. That's like teasing the monster. That's like feeding the lion. It's like, mm, dang, it's deeper. Some are AI bots and some are paid and some are upset. Who cares what they want? Oh, yes, Kelly, y'all have such beautiful minds. I always said that when I first met you, I just gravitated to y'all. I mean, y'all know, y'all see me in the past, I'd hang out and then I'd disappear, because be into some other projects, but it's just the energy. People would say that I think I've been on Mark's page for 4 years, maybe, because I've been here for 4 years. So I think I found him after I moved here. So I think it's 4 years. It's just my time that shows that's been there doesn't reflect how long I've really been there because I changed names. I opened up a YouTube channel and I changed names. And for so long, I would be there and I would write up a storm and chat, and I just have so much fun still. I mean, I'm still gonna be hanging out there during the game, and I might do some like after game watch parties after the football NFL game. I'm thinking about probably watching definitely airing the basketball games and have basketball live watch parties, right? And Asia Robertson was like, "Hey Rhonda, you're gonna have to like tell us the scores and stuff they're out doing that." I said, "Really?" She goes, "Yeah." I go, "Okay." And then Lola was like, "You can do it, Rhonda." I go, "Okay, okay, I'll do it." So Wednesday, I haven't programmed it yet. Wednesday's like 2 days from now, right? Or yes, tomorrow. And when I stay up all night, my days get. How come my? Okay, so I was scrolling trying to look for the cartoons that you wrote, and so what I'll have to do, look like it might have blocked, scroll down and it only goes up so many so far. And looks like I'll have to just go to the replay and find it. So I have to go to Rhonda, my lady said, what does that say? I'm trying to, it's that little heart that blocks you. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. Something, my lady. My lady said night. I have to go, Rhonda. My lady said night. Good night. Good night, sweet dreams. And then Michael Dad said, "You're not going to find me putting my face out there, YouTube, etc." Yeah, I know. I just started doing it. Guess when I started doing it? After I got married. That's when I started doing. I see you said your lady said good night, Coyote. Good night, sweet dreams. Sweet dreams to everyone. Sweet dreams. I'm still here. I'm going to be here. Barbie's closing out on some things. So glad for you all to spend time with me. But yeah, I mean, I didn't start that till after I was married. And I said, well, because that tells you, I've been online since the 90s, right? So for me to be that disciplined, and after I have retired, then I started doing it. So I've I had that discipline before I had a channel. I had that discipline um, from the jobs I've had to be disciplined. I handled confidentiality, I handled courtroom cases, I handled things like that. So I got the discipline where if I know that something goes down, I would know how to ignore it. Only thing that would get out of control if someone, takes stuff and then uses things to purchase or destroy your credit, or not, you know what I'm saying? But again, we do have measures put in place like the Attorney General's office and stuff like that. In general, I never liked being front and center for everyone. I haven't really either. My jobs put me out there. They did. It's kind of like you got the voice, you got the personality. We want to hire you to be out front. Not that I want it to be, but I always had jobs where they put me in the front. Even if it was at Arby's, I was out front everywhere. And since I'm retired, I got tired of that. You know what I'm saying? It's like I just wanna I just don't want anybody to know me. Then I go, dang, I end up shining bright anyway. Dang it. Where'd the cat go? Mother, where'd you go, baby? I don't know where she went. She took off somewhere. Sometimes she'll sleep behind my head. Along here. She'll lay up there. When I was a little girl, my mother put me on stage a lot too. So I had this sitting up here because I've been practicing when I go live at night and I'm working that I can it's nothing confidential on this. You get noticed no matter how much you want to blend in the crowd. I know, right? You will shine. You will shine. I ended up being on YouTube and I was in the cut when I'll be on Mark's channel. And I guess my personality just was shining. So, you end up living with the fact, okay, it happens. Okay, it's a gift. That's how you have to look at it. Don't try to fight it. And then I just set boundaries too. Miss Hot Biscuits is hot biscuits. Like Lola Hot Sauce. I miss my girl tonight. I don't think I saw her tonight. You get noticed no matter what. You go, Miss Hot Biscuits in the house. It's Hot Biscuits. Mark gave me that name. Wonder why he called me Biscuit. I think because my food, because I would cook. It's like we get stuck with these names. It's like, wow, I get stuck with that. Hot Biscuits. Oh my God. Am I growing into a content creator where I get to yarn live? Oh, I get to yarn live. Boy, I have graduated. So this is something my husband had 100 years. And I've used this for my book reading. Put my book on here. And I put my papers on the bottom. And I love it. He has all these gadgets. He's like, it stuff costs money. And I'm like, he goes, I have someone in the box in the back somewhere. I go, really? I need it. He goes, okay, I'll find it. So I'm like, and then I see you, Martha. Martha's right here now. So I have to push this back. That's my work table. Because I have to use this chair. It helps my back. There. And I'm yawning. Sorry, Mark tends to jump in the middle of conversations without knowing the text behind what's going on. That's okay. I know he be out there doing the thing, boy. Me and my husband was watching one of his lives, and we're watching. I'm just trying to organize some things down here. Sorry, I see you. I don't see you, but I'm here. So hubby sees me and goes, we were watching a couple of things he wrote about the offense line and stuff. And so we were watching him, and we watch him on our big TV. And because we're just, learning some things. We have the large TV where we can, enjoy seeing a bigger view, especially when you get older. It's just much better. And you can see bigger stuff, bigger content's bigger to see. And so my husband was like, Rhonda, Rhonda, you could, how do you say it? My husband looked at Mark. He said, you see how much Mark goes on there? I go, yeah. I said, yeah, he goes on there. I said, cool. I said, he is like, yeah, you see Martha? she's laying over here by this lamp, and she's like, she's gonna get too close, and she's gonna get burned. Honey, I don't want you to get burned, but she's right here. She likes that heat. I don't want her to get burned with that lamp. So, yeah, she's got her tail. She's right here. She's pretty much trying to tell me, I'm right here. You got to pat me. Do you see how she's looking at me? See how she's looking at me, right? Hi, baby. Drama queen. It's all about me. Hey, Williams, hello. What's up? What's up? I am just here chatting up, working, writing my notes, talking about Mothras right here. See, right there. And trying to set up things where when I go more live, it'll be more of an attractive ASMR. You know, it'll be like appealing. My background will be more appealing. So I've been working on my background and my lighting, you know, where people can see textures and they can see layers, you know. So I've been kind of, because I plan to do this more often, because I end up seeing people like y'all, come in. And I knew that the times that I was airing things, I would end up missing that opportunity to bond, you know, to communicate, to chat, to say hi. So I said, what can I do to tap into those 1,000 other people that are sitting in the cut? They're subscribed. What can I do? And I said, well, if I stay up all night, if someone lives in Serbia, there's time difference. Guess what? He get to pop in here and say, hi, Rhonda. You know, because I want to talk to subscribers. I want to bond. I don't want to lose them. I want to have a connection and not just be there for paid members, you know, but be there free, you know, and nurture my subscribers. So that's what's going on basically. You know, just talking and hanging out. I know I did a cool thumbnail. I love my thumbnails. So I did one on there where I'm like this content creator behind the desk and Mothra's at the foot of the table, and I got all my content, my mad scientist stuff going on. I had fun doing that thumbnail. So how are you doing, Williams? How are you doing? I know you're looking forward to that the Django movie. I try to turn it. Now you see the lamp? See that lamp I was talking about, like right here? It's hot. It's very, very hot. And she's right here and laying next. Do it because you have a passion for what you do. You talking about the movies and stuff? Like the movies and stuff? Or are you talking about like basketball on Wednesdays? I am not a guru at sports, but I think I could like read the score off a screen and repeat it, because I know that people that are traveling, like you, Mike Aldana, or Coyote Travels, I think I'm doing all right. I slept late and now I'm about to get ready to lay down so I can work later. The live stream, I mean. Okay, thank you. Oh, okay. I get do it because you have a passion, which I do. I do have a passion. I didn't realize I had that much of a passion until Miss TR, she would come and she would talk to me. She'll call me on the phone. She'd go, girl, you be doing it up. I go, really? She go, yeah. You know, she's like giving me some ideas. So yeah, so William is up. Thank you for popping your head in here and saying hi. He says, I slept late and now I'm about to get ready to lay down so I can work out later. Oh, so you get up early in the morning to go work out. That's cool. My husband and I used to work out a lot. And then we moved to a rural area. She's about to fall off this table, the cat. She's like hanging on the edge. Hello, baby. That's a sweet baby. She stays up with me at night when I work. Yeah, thank you. I mean, I like how you said I have passion because I love to hear, how people feel, how people think, and, about what I'm doing too. You know what I'm saying? Because it matters. It's like, okay, well, I could do this over here better. I could tweak this over here. This right here is my layout for my night ASMR working while I'm chatting. Then I have a corner over there for my book reading. And then over there is my wine cabinet and mounted wine holder, bottle holder. That's for another setting. I mean, it's just like places in my house. Not that I make it for YouTube friendly, content friendly. It's just really cute, nice places in my house I like to have as a nice background. This right here is, like I said, ASMR sex. So it's just like the cat is waiting for you to relax. I know. I think she's ready to put me to bed. See how y'all. I love that. Men love cats. Men love cats. I think so. I think she is because she puts Andre to bed. She does. I mean, I'm not kidding you. She has that look and she'll kind of tease his leg a little bit and nip at him. It doesn't hurt. He just does a cat little nippy thing. And then she's like, tell me to go to bed. And she tells us when to get up. But she's the only cat, we have 5, and she's the one that we let walk free. She's the mother cat, okay? So we let her walk free. It's her time, and she knows that's her time. And so the 3 are put in the bathroom. They have it, it's catified for them. It has places for it has their pellet litter system and water and stuff. Right. I own this place. Exactly. Exactly. And then we have Chadwick, who's a boy. He sleeps in the cage, but he doesn't see it as a cage because we leave the door open. So he'll go in there and take a nap. We did that because we don't want him to feel like, oh, he's locked up. So since he was a baby, we acclimated him to love that space. It's a love space. So when he goes to bed at night, he'll go in the cage, and Andre gives him a snack every night when we put him to bed. They get snacks when they go to bed. We give them treats. So it's like we give them, something special when they go to bed. So we give him a treat and we give her a treat when we put the other cats to bed. So they look for it. And when he goes and lay down, he's asleep. I mean, all night long. It's his place, and he likes the cage. It makes him feel like he's in a cave, he's cuddling, and he feels safe. So we make sure that every cat has their corner, their place. Chadwick won't go to sleep well with the cats that are in the bathroom. You have to know, you know. But Martha at night, she's the only free one. Because she sleeps in our bed and she sleeps at the foot of the bed. She knows her place. Positive reinforcements. Yes, Michael, Dana. It is. Positive reinforcements. Discipline. They're disciplined. They sit down for snacks. Um, they're really amazing animals. Amazing fur babies to have around. They're beautiful for aesthetics too. They're smart. They're loving. But as far as aesthetics, I always dreamt about having cats in my house. You know what I'm saying? And doing this, what you see, like have all this in the back here. While I'm live, there's my cats. That was a dream of mine. More behaved than people, of course. Yes, yes. I'm so happy. Look at the company that stays up 3 o'clock in the morning. We have 3:24 in the morning here in Texas. And I've been 3 hours and 23 minutes live. And I'm so happy to see you all. 4:25. So you are an hour ahead of me. So you're somewhere East Coast. So you're about an hour. 3:25 here in Texas. 3:25 here in Texas. Yep. I know this because every time I do a movie, my sister, Miss TR, she's my husband's sister, she she says, Rhonda, because they ask me things and I do it. So she goes, when you do, oh, you're in Virginia, Mike. I know you probably said that before. I'm sorry if I didn't remember. Some things I just don't remember because I got so much stuff in my head. But I love being enlightened again. So with the movies, what was I saying about movies? What was I talking about? Oh, the times. Pacific Standard Time, Eastern Standard Time, Central Standard Time. So my sister-in-law was like, Rhonda, on your movies and stuff, can you put on there and break it down like that? I said, sure. Because even though when you click notify, the time will reflect how your computer or your cell phone is set, right? So the YouTube will reflect your time where you are, but it still would confuse her. So I said, yeah. So that's why you probably see every time I write something, I think it's a good idea, because some people just get confused. Lola, she's in California. Okay. That's 2 hours behind me. So I started, since I've been working with so much, I've been like grooming my head and my mind and my memory, and then creating habits. Hello, sweetie. Hello, baby. She went and had a snack. She has it. Come here. Come here, baby. Come here. She's back. She went and had a snack and she's back now. She's got her tail. Are you a fan of daylight savings time? Random question. I don't know. Oh, okay. Let me just say it. No. Now, I really, really don't know the difference because me growing up as a farmer, we went by the almanac when we planted a garden. You know what I'm saying? We did our gardens and stuff, we used the almanac. And we just had things organized when it came to putting animals up. You know what I'm saying? So to be honest with you, when I was younger, let's say when I was living on the farm, it mattered, because it's when you put your animals away, you got set time. Now that I'm retired, it really doesn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter to me. I like that. I like feeling that I'm retired and it doesn't matter. But I think it did make a difference for me when I was out there working. You know what I'm saying? It was like taking my kids to school in the dark felt weird. Or if I was gardening or working on the farm, it get dark too early. It kind of disrupted things, having those responsibilities as a farmer. But now that I'm retired, it doesn't matter. Now that I'm retired, my husband and I would sit on the patio because I have a beautiful patio. There's green shrub wall backing. It's a texture thing with that shrub thing on the wall out here on the patio. Two huge wood made rocking chairs. They're huge. And they're nice. They're not the little skinny rocking chairs where it'll break if I sat in it, right? It's made out of pine. It's just beautiful. We paid like $300 for them each. Years ago, right before I retired, I wanted to invest in that because that's going to be lifetime piece of furniture for me. And I created the patio as an extended space, of the part that we're paying for. People a lot of times don't utilize their patios. So I made it as an extended living space where it's nice to dine. We could swivel the TV around. We could watch baseball or football where we're playing Uno on the patio with our bug lamp and our Mexican string lighting. I have that decorated. It's really pretty. One day when I'm going live, I'm going to take everybody out there with me. I'm looking forward to the movie later on. Good morning. Hello, good morning, William. And it is Tuesday, right? Hey, I got my days mixed up. Hey, it's going to be nice. There's BB, Bebe's kids pre-cartoon. I love that cartoon, y'all. I put like my creative juices and I put some time into having to edit things and cut it and extend it and make sure things are overlapping and nothing double plays. And it could happen one day. It could happen because I really try to prove my work. It could happen, where something kind of gets out of whack. And I try my best to prove my work, right? But I'm doing all these things, by myself, and I expect sometimes things to happen. It's gonna happen sometime. It's happened before. And there's a time where things overlap so bad. I didn't the voice thing double voiced, and it was because of however it transitioned from what I was doing into standard definition processing through YouTube kind of messed up some stuff. So I had to reschedule a movie another day. And there's sometimes I could reschedule movies same day. So it's like, okay, this screwed up. I expect mistakes to happen even though I don't like it. I used to have anxiety from that. Like when something messed up, I used to go, it used to F me up. I mean, I'm not kidding you. I had to learn with my anxiety that things happen. So, and then sometimes there might be some film where um, some voice might cut out. I've had that to happen. It happened in Cruising, and I think it happened a little bit in something else. I was like, dang it. So these are not original film, right? It's not like these are copies. And sometimes the best footage, the best film you could get is going to be a copy. I don't have access to originals, but they're copyright approved. YouTube has this thing where they scan through things and it goes through a process and to make sure you're kosher, make sure you're not. So it's pretty nice. It's pretty good. They have that now. They used to have that. They used to mess up people's channels for having stuff, but now they go through a check process, right? And so now that when I process things, I check it first. So yes, sometimes those things will happen. Sometimes there will be some vintage films back in 1938 that are not going to look HD because they didn't have HD back then. But sometimes you'll see some film that's so vintage, but you can see it and then take it for what it's worth. It's like, 1938. Look at their clothing. Look how they fell in love. Look at the background. Look at the decor. Look at that car they're driving. Look at that horse carriage. You know what I'm saying? You have, I have some really vintage movies that are paired on Saturday nights with something else. So it just kind of depends. I was just hearing my cat playing over there. We put toys in his cage too. So I'm so glad you're looking for it. It's one of my probably the best films I could ever get when it comes to what I found. And I would tell people when I'm looking for material, it's hard to find because YouTube does not make everything accessible just because you search for it. They don't make it all accessible to you. You might think that when you're searching something, that it will pop up everything. No, it's not. I mean, it'll be probably impossible, right? Because it's like millions and millions and millions and millions of people that are I'm plugging up my phone to charge my phone that are out there, right, on YouTube. So it probably crashed their systems. They have to have some kind of organization. So I ended up finding this great footage. I'm like, it took me 3 days for it to pop up and be recommended. And I said, oh my God, the Django is HD uncut. Usually you can't find that good of footage, So it's just being able to see something visual. You might see some nostalgia commercials. You'll see some things that will take you back. It's probably not the perfect HD look because back then they didn't do HD. You know what I'm saying? So I have an editor that will upgrade all my film to a 1080 HD. But it's not always promised it will be that perfect. So this is something you just got to enjoy. Enjoy the old stuff, the old flaws You know, some stuff is not going to be 100%. So I am watching Young the Restless Why I'm Up. And that's my guilty pleasure. Yeah, I see William says, I'm looking forward to the movie later on. I'm so happy, William, that you're here because it's always great to see a fresh face. It's always great to see that. Welcome and thank you for subscribing. And it's always good to just to see someone there that has this personality like you too, that's hanging out and loving movies, eating the popcorn and enjoying, the movie feeling. I try to add, I try to do things different than not trying hard to be different like everybody else. I'm just wired differently, so it's going to come naturally for me, right? I'm going to be more creative. It's going to be. I don't have to try hard to be different. It's just going to be like that because that's how I'm wired, right? So sometimes I'll repeat things so I get back on track when I was trying to remember what I was doing. Um, I'm just watching Young and Restless because I enjoy doing that when I'm up at night. When I'm up at night and working on uh, Wednesday night watch party tomorrow. Well, I think I'm gonna go to sleep. Y'all going to sleep too? So, gosh, Willie Williams gets up at 4 something in the morning, 5, maybe 6 to go work out. Thank you for spending your time. I think I'm going to get ready to go to sleep. You all have helped me talk about some things tonight, and I appreciate it. So I think, trying to make sure everything is plugged in. Oh, have a good night, everybody. Have a good night, Mike Aldana. Do you have to work tomorrow? Just wondering. I know we have watch party tomorrow if you want it. Of course, you're always invited. I don't know if you'll be able to come, but you just jump on in. I didn't know you were still there. I thought you went to sleep. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Well, sweet dreams. Thank you for quality time. Thank you for us talking to each other and just decompressing and getting ourselves ready, psychologically prepared for things ahead of time, right? Thank y'all for spending time with me. I'm just taking things down, putting it on charger so I can be ready for tomorrow night. And I just take my time and put things back. So when I wake up like what you taught me, Mike, is to make sure I keep all my devices organized and separate. So I've worked on that. And making sure everything is fully charged. So the next day, if I plan to go live or something, things are already set, So I'm just moving everything around, making sure everything is plugged in. Thank you for being here. So I'm scooch. Look how I get up. I go scooch, and then I get up because it's a chair that's real relaxed. It's a recliner, so I have to slide out like that. So, whoa. You all are a big inspiration when I go live too. I'm just trying to have all my little plugins. I get my trash. I collect my trash, at night, papers and stuff. So I'm be fresh in the morning. So I get up. I come in here in the morning, and guess what? Things are ready to go. I don't have to start back over, organize my computer, set up things. Make sure my modem is not unplugged and falls on the floor. and I look for I plug in my fan, I plug it, everything. So when I get up, because I want to be asleep, and when I get up for the movie watch party, then everything will be charged, you know? I want things organized. I want things ready to go. Organize things so when hubby gets up, things are organized. And I'm just putting things away. Did things like this. You can see it where it's going to be charged. It's plugged in. So I can see it on here. Well, we see it. Well, my lighting. So I make sure that's plugged in. My phone is charging. My fan is charging. The tablet's charging. This is my fan, which is pretty awesome. It's one of the best investments I could ever make. It's remote control. And it's quiet. So when I'm live, on my book readings, you have to have a fan on me. It's so quiet, and it has all these settings here, and it's USB charge. So right here, it's plugged in and it charges. This is what I told you when I go traveling. And let's say we're going to a concert or something outdoor, then I have some cool air on me because sometimes it can be too hot. So I'll turn it off. It'll be charged for me tomorrow. Okay, I'm getting everything closed down. So when hubby gets up, everything is in its place where he can start the new shift. He can start his new shift. Lovers in the night, passing through the night. That's pretty cool, right? Make sure all my devices are charged. I have a lot of devices that make sure it's charged. Okay, yeah, this is plugged in. I'll plug them in too when my grandson comes here. Things are ready to go. So when he gets here, he can play his games. To me, it's just smart to have things ready. Especially now, being a content creator. Like that, I'll go live more. I can fold clothes and be live. Still can gather analytics, right? But at the same time, be there for people who want to see me, you know. And Lola asked me one day, she goes, Rhonda, you gonna be back? Lola goes, don't go. Okay. And then it was like, I didn't know how to work that stuff. So I was like, oh, I can't be back right away, but I'm going to learn. I said, I'm going to fix that. So that's why I'm like doing this consistently, because I'm trying to learn and I'm trying to practice. Practice makes perfect. So I have to, practice. I push this back. Check out my lighting, the setup. Make sure everything is charging. Okay, I'm missing one more plug to charge this. So I have people too that would come here and visit me at night, and they would just wouldn't say anything. They would just sit there and just watch me work. Have this. It's a dual charger, so it's like, and they'll just hang out. And I'll just put this in and just make sure everything is charged. Charging. So I'll be ready to go tomorrow. I have a USB charger on my chair. Kind of had a box. Okay. So this. Yeah, that'll work. I always talk like I have 100 million people in the room. Just never know who's watching, right? Gladys Knight might be watching me. You know? So I just talk. People just like to sit back and just watch what you're doing. Some people just don't want to be alone. Some people just want to. So I'm putting my devices in this little bag here. So this is a dual mic set. And I put my devices inside of my armchair because homie lover boy, Chadwick, the cat, will have things everywhere. And I'm taking my medicine for tonight. My night. I have a pill box. Even though it's morning. A pill box of mine. Day pills, and night pills. So I take my night meds. Just love you all so much. I'll make sure everything is, when he gets up, everything is in its place. Because I'm like that, you know what I mean? Also working for a restaurant. I'm used to closing down shop, closing the office and stuff. Where it's ready for the next shift. I'm taking a vitamin C without water. Take vitamin C, allergy. And I take zinc at night. And I take metformin and a calcium. Metformin helps me with my sugar. My sugars have been, what do you call it? Control. Happy about that because I've been working on it. Okay, I think we're good. I think I have everything set, ready and charged, ready for tomorrow. Okay, well, I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you for spending time with me tonight. I probably will be back tomorrow. I know that I will be live tomorrow with the movie watch party. Stay tuned for Django Unchained tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. 6 o'clock PST time. East Coast is 9 o'clock p.m. Pre-cartoon is Baby Kids. Thank y'all for being here. And then Wednesday, I plan to be live for the basketball game. Hey, Jeff Lee, what's up, beautiful? I am about to go to sleep. I'm just now going to sleep. I love it when you pop your head in here. Thank you so much for taking time to say hi, because that matters. It makes a big difference. It does. It makes a big difference. Thank you. I'm drinking some water. I took my night medicine. I took my night pills. I'm shutting things down. And hopefully, Jeff Lee, we can see you tomorrow night. I love you all, and thank you for spending time with me. Shout out to William Williams, Mike Aldana. Yeah, I was up all night. You just woke up. Mike Aldana, Williams, Eric Wallace, Who else was in here? Everybody was in here. Coyote was here. They spent the night with me tonight. It was amazing. Thank you for spending time with me. And of course, Jeff Lee and a brilliant blessed mess is here. Had a good time tonight. There's April who works at night. A few people work at night and they spend time with me at night while they're at work. They rather listen to me than just be sitting up there at their job. So I feel privileged. Thank you. And I'll be up. I got to go to sleep because my husband and I are lovers in the night, passing in the night. Because when I go to bed and he gets up. So I'm going to spend some quality time with hubby. I love you all. And thank you, Jeff Lee, for popping in because that matters a lot. Thank you so much. I love you. I love you. I love you all. Thank you all for spending time with me. And I will see you soon.